episode art up. Okay, go. Go on live. Billy diddly 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 doo. What do you want to play on Chanter, by the way?
Oh fuck! I didn't even think about that. How about we play?
Let's play the first Strathspey of the MSR and do it right.
So somebody can actually hear it right for once.
Yeah.
Except it's going to be delayed, but fuck it.
Hey, let me know when you switch us to the interview scene from this.
Yep. Give me 2 shakes, and I'm switching this scene over to here. I need to fucking close that scene over to there. What are we playing again?
Shawnee's tune. And I think I'm a little quiet on the feed.
Switching to main scene transition. Let me hear you.
Hey, this is me. Hello.
Yeah. Bring me down a little bit. You up a touch. All right. All right. You ready?
Ready.
Go. You play to me. You play to me. 1,
okay.
2, ready, go.
Look at this girl. Oh, hello, everyone.
Hello,
My name is Josh. Welcome to the Chanter Rant podcast. With me, as always, is my bearded co-host, Mr. Andy Fusco.
That's me for now until I get cut out.
How about to say, yeah, we'll be amazed if any of this works. I don't know if anyone's in the chat. If you could tell us in the chat, if you can hear us both, that would be super helpful. As many of you may know, you can review the show on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, etc. You can send us emails and voicemails. We play it on air. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or if you're Australian, Snapchat. Check out the Chanter Rant store, chanterrant.com. And this episode of the Chanter Rant podcast is brought to you by our patrons. Those wonderful people at patreon.com/chanterrant who give up $5 hard-earned a month to help us do this show.
This nonsense.
Last but not least, please invite and share it with your friends. Let's go.
Well, it's been a day.
You know what really pushes back my streaming schedule by about a half hour?
What's that, Josh?
Trying to do tech solutions and tech support remotely over Discord instead of like being able to just walk around the table and be like, just move, let me click things.
Right. Now I feel for the Indians and what they have to deal with old people and computers. So now I understand.
I'm about to say, you will never berate someone on telephone tech support ever again.
I'm sure I will, because I get angry very quickly. But hey,
now that you've had to experience this.
Yeah, it was quite fun just pushing buttons and like, oh wait, it's working. Go.
It's working. Wait, it stopped working. And there's no rhyme or reason as to when it works and when it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so, the likelihood of us buying a new streaming laptop grows more and more every day.
We really, I mean, I don't know, just bite the bullet at this point. We'll see if the new year brings many new patrons that will help us.
Yeah, that would help us. That would help us upgrade our stuff, for sure. And then, the way that I sell this to Fusco is always, could you imagine a world where all you have to do is sit down and start drinking and everything else works?
This is why we need tech people, which is going to bring us into one of our topics today. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, we'll talk about that a bit. Hey, buddy, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
It's been pretty good. We had a couple weeks off, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It was nice, yeah. It's so weird because we had some time off, but we also still have like 17 episodes we have to finish editing because we didn't stop streaming Like we did our vacation time weird to where we still were doing live shows, but we like weren't really editing episodes for the audio version of the podcast.
Correct. We fuck those guys. They don't pay us anyway.
Yeah, it's free for you, bitch. Why would we,
Ironically enough, none of the patrons complained. Only the free people. Like, where the fuck are the episodes?
Yeah. It's always the people that don't pay. They're like, I haven't seen an episode in like 72 hours. What's going on?
Well, to be fair, we did get in this for the love of talking incessantly about ourselves. So
this is true. Yeah, this is true. And the live show, live show's just a lot of fun. So we do have some episodes coming out. We've got the episode for my Dirty 30 birthday. I think that just came out.
Just hit, yeah.
Just came out. We had the episode with Cobra that live stream audiences may remember. That'll be coming out soon. And then Fusco, in true hero fashion, will be taking on the monumental task of editing the 6-hour shit show that was the big Grace Note goes up to the line with the Lady Pipers podcast.
Correct. That sucker, literally, no joke, went for 6 hours or something.
We were streaming with those guys for the entire fucking day.
Yeah. I actually had time to go do a gig, come back, and keep going with them.
Yeah. No, I mean, you were gone for like an hour.
Yeah. It was. I think it was longer than that. But I played the gig for an hour. I was probably gone a good hour and a half. It was ridiculous. But yeah, that's coming. But I do want to say, it's not like we went on vacation and did nothing, because you and I are both, well, not currently as of January 1st, but board members of the band that shall not be named.
That's true, yeah.
And also, we had a contest to record and edit and produce for the mini band contest that happened, and we'll get into that. That's the whole point of today. But so we just put the podcast on the back burner. Everything else was in full effect.
Well, and I would say only the audio version of the podcast, because we still had some merch come out. We still, we were still doing the live shows. Right. I mean, we only took what, a week or two off from live shows, I think.
It was like 2 weeks, yeah. So yeah.
But Happy New Year, bud. Welcome to 2021. Fuck 2020.
I'm so excited for the new year. Not that it matters, but it's all arbitrary.
Yeah, not that. What are you talking about? Everything's fixed.
Everything's gonna change. Brilliant. Fucking the what is it called?
It's like remember when Donald Trump lost the election and the next day everything got better?
Right. Yeah, everything's perfect. The world is a better place. The Russians are no longer a threat. China is now doing what we want them to do. So great.
Yeah, we no longer have terrible virus rampaging through the entire country. Like, no, all's good.
Vaccine is making its way across the country, and everything will be fine.
And everybody will definitely get one.
Can't wait. I will get that fucker. Give it to me twice.
Let's say, yeah, I'll take an extra. But speaking of viruses and vaccines, some people might notice that we're doing a socially distanced episode today.
We are. Why is that, Josh?
Hence our multitude of technical difficulties. I unfortunately had to travel, even though I really didn't want to because safety reasons. But there was a death in the family of the lady, so we had to travel for a funeral.
Right.
It's super fun doing a funeral the day after Christmas. That's great.
I can only imagine how amazing that was.
Yeah. And everyone was just super stoked on Christmas.
Have you met her family before?
Not in person. No, I'd never met him in person before. So this was a first trip to Chicago for that. But yeah, so we did that. Got our tests. COVID, got back, quarantined, got our COVID tests today. We'll get results probably tomorrow, and then Fusco can come back over and give me herpetogonosyphilates instead.
Right. At least that's fixable. You call Dr. Mish and everything.
Yeah, get a big old horse pill of penicillin, and we call it a day.
It works.
But yeah, so that's what's been going on. But other than that, my holidays were okay. How you didn't end up going home, did you, Fusco?
Yeah, no, I was supposed to go to New York for Christmas. That was also part of the taking the time off thing. We were both traveling, and then unfortunately, my father turned up with COVID about December 10th or so, and then was in the hospital for 3 weeks. So it was like I could go home, but nobody can go to see him. So what's the point?
Yeah.
And my mother and my sister were quarantined because they were in contact with him when this all happened for 2 weeks. So it was like, well, this is pointless. I'm gonna wait until everybody gets home, and then I'll go. So I can't wait to travel to upstate New York in the middle of fucking January. It's gonna be amazing.
Bring your. So do you get off the plane and then just like onto a snowmobile? Is that how that works? Or
Pretty much, it's about as Northern Canadian as you could expect. It's insane. I've been to New York in January. It's awful. That's why if you go for Christmas, if you go to like shitty places for Christmas, at least you got the romance of the time. The time, like whether you care about Christmas or not, like it's still like fun. It's still something to center around.
The shitty weather is like decorative for the season.
Correct, and it's like fun. Oh, let's get hot chocolate and go ice skating or some nonsense. Not that anybody's doing that, but like you go to fucking these places in January where there's nothing happening, or February even, and it's just miserable. Like it's the most. I can't tell you how many times I almost killed myself growing up in February.
It's just like what Canada's like year round.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. From like September to May in Canada is about upstate New York in January, February.
So I have to ask the question, for Christmas dinner, Fusco, what did you get from Taco Bell?
Ironically enough, in Nevada, in Las Vegas, Taco Bell is open on Christmas Day. It's remarkable. No, I did not have Taco Bell, fortunately. I was too busy playing a wedding. I actually played a wedding on Christmas Day. I don't know if you're aware.
That's interesting. Was it a lot of people, or was it kind of, were they like, we give no fucks, or was it like weirdly distanced and like a strange wedding?
No, it was. I played it like the place that I play most often in town, the Little Chapel of the West, and it's like one of those sort of Vegas-y wedding chapels. And there was way more. I expected it to be a bride, the husband, the wife and husband, and then maybe one other person. But these people brought like, I'd say 10 to 12 people, maybe 15, which surprised the shit out of me. They were dressed in full tuxes. They were fully dressed. It was definitely not their first wedding. They were older people. But way more people than I expected. And it was pretty fun. They were nice and everything. Everything was cool. Hey, if I didn't get to go home, I got to make some money. Like, what the fuck? Fuck it.
Let's say, get paid.
They did not tip me, to be honest, which is ironic.
That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, for Christmas Day, I expected like, hey, thanks for coming out on Christmas goddamn day. Like nothing. It was
here's a Chris extra 20.
Yeah, something like that. That surprised me. But other than that, it was cool. It was what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, the only paycheck I collected was measly $600 from the government.
Yeah, that hit my account over the weekend as well, or over the last couple of days too.
Which it hit my account yesterday, which brought my account to a whopping $605. I'm very excited.
I know, man. You get to go nuts now. It's great.
Oh my god, dude! Like gasoline, groceries, still can't afford health insurance. I could buy 2 months of health insurance.
Dude, we can get into politics, but holy shit! Like I figure. What would you? Okay, so do you use that kind of money for just regular stuff, your day-to-day stuff?
Fusco, I have not treated myself to something in a year. Let's put it that way. I quit my old job in February.
Yeah.
I quit my old job in February. I couldn't start school until June because of COVID. I was planning on starting school in like March.
Right.
And school is fucking expensive, by the way.
It is. Yep.
And keeping the lights on and feeding the dog is also expensive. And now I got 2 of those fuckers.
Yeah, you did get a new dog, which was a really dumb move, but I'm hoping you're not paying for any of that.
Oh no, dude, I'm not in charge of anything except training and picking up poop.
There you go.
That is Courtney. That is Courtney's dog.
Which is brilliant. But yeah, no, I'm curious. Can you go back and buy belated Christmas presents for people now that you have the government money?
I could, but I figure if I wait long enough, they'll just kind of forget that I didn't get them anything.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do every year.
We did send out Christmas cards. It's the first time I've ever sent out Christmas cards.
That's because you have a woman in your life.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a great way to like send people something, but like something that only costs like 50 cents.
Right. Yeah.
Like, because people like it, and then they're like, "Oh, like, yeah, I sent you a card." And like, "Well, I would have liked a gift." And it's like, "Well, get fucked. I'm poor."
Well, I mean, I got your card. I never expect gifts mostly because I don't want to give gifts. So I'm like, guess what?
I'm not.
Don't get me anything because I'm not getting you
anything. Because
Right.
we had that with Court's folks, and she's like, "Oh, like, well, what do you like?" They want to know what you want for Christmas. I was like, "Shit, I don't want anything. Like, don't give me stuff. Like, I'm not gonna be able to get stuff. I'm coming on a plane with a backpack."
Yeah.
Like if you really feel the urge, like get a whiskey, maybe, like that'd be fine.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Alcohol is the greatest gift for, I mean, assuming you're not in recovery, but for any person ever, because you can always use more alcohol.
Yeah, like who doesn't like, even if it's not like particularly nice, like you give me a free $30 bottle of bourbon, it's still a free to me bottle of bourbon. I'm happy.
Like, is there like, okay, so you've been to a wedding with an open bar and a wedding without an open bar. Like the greatest thing on the planet, for whatever reason, is the feeling of free alcohol. Like an open bar is the most amazing thing ever. And then you black out and you ruin the wedding. But that's not the point. The point is the free alcohol.
You black out, you get double teamed by a couple bridesmaids, and then you move on.
Yeah, and if only I remembered their names, I could put them on my list. But
if they wanted me to remember their names, they should have dressed differently.
Right, exactly.
If you're all gonna wear a uniform, you're all fucking bridesmaid.
Bridesmaids 2017. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, not all bridesmaids are gonna put out at a wedding. I'm like, that would be like me dressing up like a firefighter and just being like, well, I'm not gonna put that fire out.
Right. Like what? That's what the uniform is for, right? That's what the dress is for. Easy access, that whole thing.
It's so that people know, you dress like a police officer so that people know they can call on you if they need help. You dress like a bridesmaid so that people know like you're DTF.
Exactly correct. Exactly correct.
But speaking of holidays recap, I have mentioned this already kind of briefly, but yeah, we got a new dog. Mm-hmm. Currently he is going by Bear the dog.
Is that going to be permanent or is that just current?
I think it's probably going to be permanent. He's a puppy. He's only 11 weeks old, so he doesn't really fucking answer to anything.
Well, they give him a name, though, because he was born of a litter, right? Did they give him like a crazy name?
No, so the name he had when we adopted him was Oso, which is bear in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, so we'll see. He's an Anatolian Shepherd mix. He's 22 pounds at 11 weeks. He's gonna be 130 pounds when he's fully grown.
That's fantastic.
So on the bright side, if we go hiking and Court gets tired, she can just ride him home like a fucking pony.
That's a great idea.
Like a fucking ride him home like a fucking Shetland pony.
That's a great idea. I love it. I can't wait to meet this dog when you're COVID free.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll know tomorrow. Thank goodness. I gotta say this: what I did not expect, because one, I went to Chicago, but I didn't really go, right? Because I went from the airport to the folks' place to a funeral, back to the folks' place, and like was just washing my hands the entire time. Like my skin is brand new.
Right.
But I will say this: I love talking about how much better Nevada is than other places. And one of the things that I will brag about is our fucking testing here is superb. Because I've had to get like 20 of these fucking things. Mm-hmm. Between like interacting with my folks who are older, I have to have fresh COVID tests for when I go to the school for EMT school. So I got to have these things pretty regularly. I can drive 10 minutes to Cashman Field. I'm in and out. I've never been there more than a half hour. And I get texted results like usually in 24 hours, maybe a little longer, and it's fucking free.
We may have to get into this after the fact, because I was looking into getting tested because I was going to have to fly, and that's the rules to go to New York. You have to get tested before you go.
Yeah.
And I tried to sign up online. No matter when I went, it was like always like full. You couldn't get in. Cashman Field, the ones the similar ones, the county health district, whatever it is. And then I drove over there, and it was like packed. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, how do you do this realistically? Like, so.
Oh, dude. So it'll look packed. Like, I didn't have an appointment today. Court had one. I just walked in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it looks packed, but they're churning and fucking burning.
Plowing them through. Okay.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's quick. I've never been there. Even when it looks pretty full, I've never been there more than a half hour.
Was it drive-through?
It's no. You drive up, park, you go into Cashman. It's like they have the whole interior of that warehouse where they used to do the gun shows. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all emptied out, and then it's just National Guard just fucking getting people through. Like,
oh, okay. Now I know.
It's a little quicker if you have an appointment, but it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I don't need an appointment because it's all, unless you're like a fireman, because Fireman Bill got tested recently.
I'm Fosco's like a drum solo, man. You never know when he's coming.
Like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna rip one right now, which is also like my ass, which is amazing. But
I will say this: while there were some technical difficulties in getting the socially distanced episode going, the fact that I don't have to smell you so far has been quite an upside.
I can imagine there are benefits. All that fancy equipment you got behind you is completely useless now that we figured out how to do this online. But that's all right. We'll sell it to the Pipecast or the Up to the Line guys, and they can maybe actually do something that sounds decent.
Yeah, we'll sell it to Up to the Line. They can have a decent show.
But I have a question. So I've been listening. Are we freeforming today? What are we doing? Because
I've got stuff, but yeah, take your time, man.
So I've been listening to. I want to give a shout out to the it's new-ish piping podcast called Drone On. Are you aware? Well, I know you're aware of this and what I'm about to say, but
yeah,
they're gonna have you and I both on in the next couple of months. But I've been listening to them lately just to figure out what the hell we're getting ourselves into when they asked us to come on. I'm like, what is this? And so
because it's a buddy of ours.
It's a fan of the
Chanter
show.
Rant listener.
Yeah, it's a guy, a Chanter Rant listener that started his own show. And I was listening to it. I've started from the beginning and listened to it. And they're short, which is helpful. And my first question is, shout out to James who does this, I believe. But what is the point of his podcast? I'm still trying to figure that out. Have you listened to any of it yet?
No. I have about 7 episodes downloaded on my phone that I have not gone through yet. So because he when he messaged me, I started downloading them. I was like, oh, I'll listen to these. I got to travel and shit.
Yeah, and they're short. So
instead, I watched Gemini Man on the plane, and let me tell you,
wait,
your time is better spent listening to the Drone On podcast than watching fucking Gemini Man.
Gemini Man, isn't that with like?
It's Will
Wesley
Smith
Snipes?
versus
Will
Smith versus de-aged Will Smith.
Oh, that one. Oh dear God. Yeah, no, I have no interest in anything Will Smith for the most part, but.
Yeah, it's like sitting on a cactus.
So the reason I bring this up is one, his show is strangely fascinating, even though it's like very specific to his band and his people. But he's got a good way. I'll give him credit. He's got a good sort of way of talking, and the way he interviews people is very, very calming. He's got a very nice voice and all that. But what's interesting is the sound quality is terrible most of the time, at least in the beginning episodes. And I'm thinking, this is a good promotion for Discord, dude. Interview your people on Discord because this thing fucking is amazing.
Yeah, the audio bitrate's way better on Discord than it is, and the only reason we know this because I get fucking questions. Apparently, I've become the goddamn de facto audio guy of the piping community.
If you saw the scramble of us trying to figure this shit out on a weekly basis, you would not be calling us.
No, you wouldn't be calling us. But yeah, it's like I get people fucking weekly now sending me 2 or 3 people at least, like, hey, like I'm looking to record something like this, or hey, like I want to do a show, like what do I do? The only reason that we know half the shit we know is because we try everything when we're not live.
We just try, we try every goddamn system.
Because we were experimenting with Discord like 6 months ago because we thought this might be a thing we had to do because of COVID.
Right.
And we're like, well, shit, we might have to do fucking stuff on Discord.
Correct. Yep.
So, for a couple drunk assholes, we plan ahead at least a little bit.
I mean, and we're also like suckers for quality, but I mean, and we fuck it up sometimes, which is fine. But like trying different stuff, I think is what's important. He's got a lot of shit figured out that we haven't figured out yet, which I like, which is interesting. Except he just hasn't figured out how to bring his guests' audio up yet, which is really painful. But
I'm about to say, has he figured out how to have a cohesive like strategy going into an episode instead of just winging it every fucking week and relying on that?
It's a little winging it, I think, but he's got a set of questions he asks, and it's sort of freeform. I think he's doing it for his band. It's kind of like the girls down in Arizona. It's like, what's their intended audience? Probably just their own band, and hey, if anybody else listens, great. I think that's his intent, and maybe it'll turn into something. But the other thing is they're very Mormon-y. There's a lot of Mormon stuff going on there, and I'm thinking, why in God's name did he invite us onto his show? Like, does he know what's gonna happen?
Because he really wants to practice his editing skills.
Oh yeah, as Rab knows well.
As Rab knows.
I think his strategy was though, like, have us separately, and maybe we'll be less offensive.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, I just think it's funny because like I remember. Although I will say this to our credit, when we went on the Big Rab radio show, we kept it tight, despite being jet lagged, slightly drunk.
We did, but also that was pre Chanter Rant, so we weren't as crazy at the time.
Right? I think it was always there. It was always just bubbling.
It's definitely there. But like you turn to certain you go into a certain mode where you're like, all right, don't swear, and sometimes it still happens. And that's what I'm worried about. Like I'm gonna go on this guy's show and I'm gonna try to tone it down, but it's still gonna happen somewhere along the way.
Well, it's not live, right?
No, I don't think so.
So who cares?
Yeah, just fuck it. Be prepared, bud. It's coming.
it was like the last time we were on the Rab Show podcast. He's like, "Do you have any idea how fucking long it took me to edit that?"
To beep. Mostly, I just want to test people's abilities with their bleep button. So we'll see. But anyway, check it out.
Speaking of Rabby, actually, I want to do a quick plug. The most horribly named Kids with Cancer charity event is happening Saturday, the 20th of February on 2021. Starting at 7 p.m. You can find details on Big Rab stuff, but give a quick plug because, who doesn't like supporting
kids with cancer?
Have kids having cancer? Yeah.
Wait. Do we support kids with cancer or do we support kids with not having cancer?
I believe we should be supporting kids getting rid of cancer. Right. I think would be apt.
So Kids Beating Cancer charity event.
Kids Against Cancer.
Kids Against Cancer. Like Rab, anything would do. Anything.
Or if it's like it's all piping. My suggestion, because it's all piping, was I said, why don't they call it Kilts Against Cancer?
There you go. There's an idea. Now we're talking.
And I was shot down. And this is actually a funny story because
who runs this organization? I need to know who it is.
I got we may recall that I was shit talking not only the name of this event, but I was shit talking the flyer like quite publicly because I was like, oh, this looks like crap. Like I'll just make like here's my charity contribution. Let me make you a flyer. It doesn't look like dog ass.
Correct.
And so I did. I actually made one. And I don't know if you saw it or not. I put it in our group chat for the Legion of Piping podcasts.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so go pull up that chat real quick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I totally saw this. Yeah, I was like, Rab, you should use this because it's a zillion times better. I don't know if that's a number, but it's a zillion times better.
So I was like, hey, I can help out. Like I'll make a flyer that doesn't suck dicks. And so I did that and I sent it. And this is like the epitome of why I'm like in the midst of a career change and like not really doing as much freelance graphic design stuff anymore. Because like I put like, I probably put like an hour or two into it. I'm like, yeah, let me just like make this better and then I'll send it off and no worries. So I make this better flyer. It looks dope. I send it off. I'm like, hey, like, here's my contribution. Like, cheers, no worries. And I think maybe like a day went by and then I got fucking notes.
What? What were the notes? I need to know what the fucking notes were.
So then I get fucking notes back on this and I'm like, I was just doing that to be nice. Like
I don't want to actually, I'm not trying to do a job here. This is just better. Just work with it. Really? What did they say? Like, oh, it would be nice if you did this. Like, move the ribbon over to this.
So it's we're hoping to point folks to the Eventbrite website, which they didn't have an Eventbrite when I made it. So now they have an Eventbrite. They want to remove the phone number and the email. And it's like, oh, and they're a bit worried we would piss off the bands by not including all their names and listing them. And I said,
list them on the fucking website, not the flyer.
I was talking to Rab, and he was sugarcoating it, because he's like, seriously, like, thank you for this. This is great. And what did I say? I said something. I was like, I'll add the band names for $500.
To be lucky if that whole thing raises $500.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, do you have any idea how expensive it is to get design work from me?
Like, dude, that's crazy. Like, you put the bands on the fucking website. There's too many to list. It doesn't make any sense. Like, make the flyer simple so people want to go watch it.
Well, the original flyer has the fucking ribbon, and it's not even cut out of the background, and it's black letters on a blue background. Like, I'm looking at it right now.
I've seen the original, and I have no taste at all when it comes to design. And it's
It makes me want to rip. It makes me want to shove my fist up my own ass and rip my spine out like the fucking predator. Okay.
I mean, but okay, I get it. They're volunteers and they're putting together things.
Volunteers,
and none of them know how to do art. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they've got an Eventbrite link now, which is great because the original thing was literally just like, "Hey, Facebook Gary S. if you want to pay to attend." It's like find Gary Smith on Facebook if you want to attend. He'll take your $20. I'm like, what the fuck?
What is going on here? It's just not that hard to set up an event. Facebook will do it for you. It's so
you could
simple.
do it. You could do it through Facebook. You could do paid events through Facebook.
Yeah.
But I was just fucking baffled. I was like, what? I was like, all right. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's for a fucking kid's childhood cancer ward. Like I'll make some changes. I'll make it okay. I'll fix it, but not without bitching.
Oh no! You got to make him feel like shitty. Like when Rab hears this, he's gonna be like, "Oh, son of a bitch."
But this is just a lesson. This is a lesson to everybody in the pipe band community. You try to do a nice thing, and this is what happens.
Yep, you're fucked. You fucked me.
This will become even more. I can't wait till next time we get like the Wake Boys that swept the Uswaba Southern Branch thing. Like I cannot wait for them to get like 6 months into the job and come back on the show. Just be like what a shit show. Like we're just trying to help. Nobody wants to do anything.
Oh boy, it's gonna be great.
It is the most active community of naysayers on the planet.
That's maybe piping's worse than others because it's like, think about it. Like you're trying to do a good thing and then they're all still a bunch of cunts. Like, yeah.
And people wonder why Daddy drinks.
But they're worried about offending the bands, but not the guy who just went into this, did this for nothing. And hey, here's a thing to make it look better and grab more attention.
Well, and the thing for me is like, yeah, you can list each individual band and grade because the original flyer had the band and then which grade they were and then if they had won any awards recently.
Right.
Nobody fucking cares.
Who cares? The people you want going to that are not the ones that are going to care about
like
that.
nobody's gonna be like, well, I was gonna donate to childhood cancer ward at the hospital, but it's Kloss-Kelt's grade 4, not their grade 2, and they weren't the 3B champions, so I'm just gonna keep my money. Like, no, nobody gives a shit.
Put on a pipe band.
You only list the things that matter.
That's right. Hey, it's their gig. What do we care?
Pay your $20, watch some piping, feel like you've done some good charity work, and that will, cleanse your soul of all the tenor drummers you sodomized in the past season.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Do tenor drummers do butt stuff? Episode title?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
You can neither confirm nor deny.
I get myself in a lot of trouble when I talk about tenor drummers.
That means yes.
Hold on, I gotta write this down. Where's my notebook? Do tenor drummers do butt stuff? Hold on, I can do this. Here's my notebook.
But anyway, Kids with Cancer charity event. You'll see the new flyer one of these days. Give them your 20 pounds or however much it is. Watch some bagpiping. Give them 20 pounds and don't watch bagpiping. Fuck it.
Yeah, just give them fucking money.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care if you tune in. They just need the cash.
Yeah, it adds nothing to you showing up.
Speaking of cash, this episode of the Chanter Rant podcast, potentially, it's January. Are we still doing the adverts for Brady?
That's I meant to bring it up in our business meeting the other day. Like, I think we're
happy New Year, happy New Year, Brady. Here's a
free one. Here's a free one for you, cunt.
Here's a buy 12 get one free. This episode of the Chanter Rant podcast is brought to you by McClellan Bagpipes. Space for read and pre-recorded read over. Speaking of people who help with the bills, how's the dojo going, man?
You mean from a supporting us standpoint or from a work standpoint?
From a work standpoint,
it's going great.
Is this now your longest running job that you've ever had?
That is a good question.
Working for the Pipers Dojo, is this the longest you've been employed at the same company?
No, I wouldn't say. I think Wells Fargo was probably the longest still, but it's getting close.
You were at Wells for a while, yeah.
I'd say 5 years maybe. So it's getting close though. Say I think I started with the dojo in 2017, so just over 3 years. So yeah, it's going great. Work is busy. People are learning bagpipes, and it's been great.
How are we doing on the march to 10,000 new bagpipers?
I don't think he actually instilled that plan officially. He was looking into it and then went a different direction, which is now the freedom phase concept, which I assume he stole from something related to what do they call it, CrossFit or something. I don't know where he gets his ideas, but so we have this.
Assuming most of them from Gary Vaynerchuk's Twitter feed.
Could be. Could be a lot of that. But he has this whole new freedom phase thing where we're taking a slightly different angle to helping people to get what they need, not what they want, which we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, people love that in piping education. That's why most of the students I worked with this year didn't come back.
Right. They want to learn what they want to learn, and regardless of what the experts think. Which is why the influx.
How soon will I play Amazing Grace on pipes? I need to know it by February. Like, fuck you.
That has actually happened to me. Like, hey, I got 2 months to learn Amazing Grace on pipes. I bought a set of pipes. Like, huh. Well, I'll tell you what. You pay me $100 an hour for lessons, and I will.
I'll get you there.
I'll take the money. I'm not saying I'll get you there. I'll take the money.
Give me $100 a lesson, and you can fiddly fucking squeak your way through the worst rendition of Amazing Grace ever.
Yeah, or you can save yourself a lot of money and just hire me to do it in 2 months.
Yeah, make it easier.
Yeah, no,
or you can do it yourself and play it so horribly that your loved one will want to die all over again.
Correct. Yep, absolutely. Well, I promised my father I would play bagpipes 30 years ago at his funeral, and I decided to pick it up when he died. Like, oh.
Yeah, I promised my father I would pay someone to play bagpipes at his funeral.
Like, it's okay to have somebody else do it and have an actual good experience, you know?
I mean, we've had that. Like, I remember even, God, how long ago was it? Like, maybe like 10 years ago? Because my aunt passed away and the band played.
Oh. Yes, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, my aunt, whose house I now reside in, she passed away, and I was like, I mean, I think I might have played a little bit, but people were like, oh, like, are you gonna play? Are you gonna play? And I was like, man, like, I'm part of the funeral. Right. Like, let's get people in here to play that don't know this lady.
That's the way to go, man. Absolutely. I guess we all got to make our own mistakes. I've made that mistake, and I kind of sucked it up, but. And I think Graham has told stories, and I don't know if he's ever told them on the show, where he played for I believe it was his mother, and it was a big mistake. He should have just had somebody else do it, kind of thing. It's really hard to do when you play for somebody you know, or somebody that's important to you. It's a huge mistake, because it's emotional, and especially if you're a beginner anyway. Which is 90% of pipers are somewhere in the beginner to early intermediate phase.
Yeah, it's like no, it's
you're
like
gonna 90%, fuck it up.
It's 90% beginners. That 90 to 95 percentile is like intermediate, and then it's like the last 5% is like
maybe really
high
solid pro.
Player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's probably not even 5%, but
I think that'd be a very interesting thing to talk about one day in the future, because I do think people underestimate the spread. Mm-hmm. And like when they are a beginner, they get discouraged easily. But it's like, dude, most people you meet are like, I would consider myself to be just out of beginner.
Yeah, like low level intermediate sounds reasonable.
I would say low intermediate.
Yep,
like,
absolutely.
And I've been doing it for almost 2 decades.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And the other thing that's funny, well, again, we've talked about this a million times, but dealing with dojo students or just students in general, I have lots of students, but like the psychology of like amping them up every so often is a big part of it, where you've got to keep in mind that like if you're not committed to practicing a couple hours a day, and I'm not even overestimating this, like literally a couple hours a day, you're going to be very average at best. And you started it as a 40-some-odd-year-old person. It doesn't matter what instrument you are, you're never going to be brilliant unless you started young and play 2+ hours a day. Like, no joke. And if you're not willing to do that, you just need to accept that fact, and that's okay. There's nothing. You don't have to like get your ego all torn up because I'm not going to be great at this. but
Yeah,
you could still
and
be pretty good, and you could still like have a impact on people if you focus on the right things, right? But if you
and
just want to,
a solid parade player is still necessary.
absolutely,
Like you need bedrock. Like if you can fucking play Scott and the Brave in time, I don't care if you take all the fucking embellishments out. If you play it in time with grace notes and blow decent tone, like that's useful. Like you can help reinforce the overall sound of a band.
yeah. But does human ego get by on useful?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I would say probably not. Everybody wants to be a fucking star, and the utility player is incredibly helpful to an organization. But everybody, it's American culture probably, and maybe other cultures aren't like this, I don't know, but American culture is very like, we're all entitled to be superstars in some effect, right? We've been taught that as probably a little bit, and as a culture. So then,
yeah, but it's like not everybody can be the quarterback, bro. Like,
correct. Somebody's got to be that fucking left guard, and guess what? Nobody knows that guy's name, except who does? The fucking quarterback.
Quarterback.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta. That's important. That's good enough, and that's you got to do that job too.
It's like I used to tell, back before I had the pleasure of you being the drummer in my band, my former drummer. I was like, dude, you are the goalie of rock and roll. Play your fucking position.
Correct. Yep. Absolutely.
like don't do anything weird. I need you to start on time, stop on time, look like you're having fun. Don't look like you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, and limit mistakes.
Limit mistakes.
Which is ironic because that's exactly what you're supposed to do in a pipe band. Stuart Little says, best 3 tips: start good, end good, no mistakes. All the rest we can work around.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, dude, just play your position. Like, don't worry about it. It's important. Group effort.
Yeah, it's about the team, not you fucking cunt.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We have a bass player. You're still gonna get the third hottest chicks that show up.
Correct.
Like, you're not getting fourth tier.
Yeah, the bass player is getting the fucking the whack ass.
The bass player is getting the drummer's ex-girlfriend and/or mom.
Exactly. And by bass player we mean bass guitar, not bass drummer, because the bass drummer gets all the hottest chicks.
Oh yeah. No, why the fuck do you think I've been trying to quit pipes and make a full transition to bass drum?
That might be the way to go.
I'm good at carrying things. I've got room. I've got a big enough vehicle to carry a drum, and I could get as drunk as I want. Because how would I fuck that up? How? I've got 2 notes. I've got boom and boom.
Yeah, left and right, and you don't really need the left so much. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't have to fucking rehamp everything. I don't have to fucking burn through $700 of reeds.
Right. The band pays for all your equipment.
Dude, my dream gig. I'm gonna be on fucking AR2 drumming tomorrow, taking my lessons with my $600 stimulus check.
I can't wait. Hey, at least
free plug for Cobra.
At least one of our people are going to get the extra benefit of the COVID relief fund or whatever the fuck it's called. Oh, that's great.
I'm glad my government thinks I can live on 50 cents a day. That's super great.
Yeah, things are about to get real bad here in Vegas post Christmas. So we shall see.
Government issues $600 stimulus checks to entire country. Raises price of firearms to $601.
Your average Glock handgun is somewhere in the if you include ammo, because you're going to need some of that, otherwise it's useless. $450 to $600, right? So,
hey, look on the bright side, guys. Pro tip: save $200, get a Springfield XD, just as good. Well, not as good, but
works. Is it really? As long as it works.
It works. I've shot a few of those. They work fine. I don't like them as much as I like the Glock, but
yeah, the Springfield. At least if it doesn't work, you can throw it at them.
Yeah, you can just beat them to death with it.
Yeah, because the Glock is like 90% plastic. So, well, maybe not 90%, but so yeah, buy guns, people, or musical equipment. Go out and take your $600 and, well, no, you can't. Don't buy Pakistani pipes. Don't do that.
I say take your $600 and subscribe to some OnlyFans accounts. Support your local Hooters.
I can give some recommendations for OnlyFans if you
Don't
like.
don't be stingy going on Pornhub for free. Like, there's people in your community, especially in our community in Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
who they feed their pets by posting their titties online. So you gotta consider them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's a lot of people on Cameo and OnlyFans right now.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch someone shoot a ping pong ball out of their ass into Fusco's mouth, do it. Pay to do it. Like support someone.
Yeah, support local art.
I don't see you doing it for free.
Uh,
Speaking of supporting local art, if that conversation about ping pong balls and buttholes made you think about joining the Piper's Dojo, you can do so with our referral link at www.chanterrant.com/suckless. www.chanterrant.com/suckless. You get a premium test drive.
yeah,
$1.
30 days, $1. It's brilliant. You'll love us. Trust me.
And that does convert, man. I've seen a lot of people go through and they once they sample it,
Mm-hmm.
they're in. Once they have a little snort of that Piper's Dojo goodness.
just like a drug dealer, Andrew Douglas, the drug dealer of the pipe bang world.
How do we still have this affiliation?
I have no idea, because he doesn't listen to the show. He just trusts.
That's true.
He doesn't.
He only listens. He only listens when he's on.
He looks at the numbers.
The other thing I wanted to plug real quick is the Rant email, which is coming back hard in 2021. We did a little beta test at the end of the year last year. People seem to like it. So that will bring you the latest and greatest of piping news and advertisements for our merch.
Good.
Speaking of which, I'm wearing some of our merch now.
Me too. I got the Secret Six shirt. You got the Secret Six hat.
I think I might. I'm wearing my. Oh no, I'm not wearing my Secret Six shirt. Never mind. I forgot what I haven't showered today. I slept in these clothes, so I don't know what happened. I was up very late, drinking and listening to a puppy fucking scream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's doing better today.
That's good. You just beat him into submission or what?
Yeah, the beatings will continue until morale improves.
Perfect. I like it.
No, he's fine. He got a little overtired, but he's getting acclimated, so he's doing better. He's doing surprisingly well for how young he is, which means I just can't wait to figure out what he's torn up that I haven't found yet.
Hey, I have a suggestion. Let's take a moment, take a break here. I'm out of beer, so I gotta go to the fridge. If you're cool, unless you want to keep going.
No, I'm fine with that. We can take a quick break. Do you want to go to the episode art?
Yes, sir. And then we'll come back.
I don't know if we can play any music. I don't know if that's going to work. You can maybe play some on your desk. You don't have any of the license-free shit, do you?
Not super handy, but give me 3 seconds.
After I go get my shot, I'll come back and entertain them with a completely random medley of Chanter tunes.
There you go. Perfect.
Best music for your video.
Just don't touch anything that breaks the goddamn audio settings.
Definitely not. I'm not gonna touch a goddamn thing.
who's still here in the chat? See, we got some Cobes. I saw Lindsay for a minute. I see Aaron. Good morning, kids. Oh, hey, there he is.
All right.
Hey, we got Matt in the chat as well. Hello, everyone.
Got Matt. Anybody else?
Aaron, Lindsay was there for a minute, and Cobes, of course.
Oh, Matt Biggs. Oh, okay, that Matt. Okay, I thought it was the other Matt. The drunken son of a bitch.
You will have to be more specific.
Matt Nielsen, the one Brad has a crush on.
Yeah. Oh, that man.
Oh, that man. Yeah, we haven't actually
All right,
seen him in a while.
I'm ready when you are, bud.
Alrighty. Let me get everything back on. Oh, that Matt. So Matt Biggs is a streamer as well. He's a video game streamer. Or at least he's trying to be.
No shit, really? Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Was it what games?
He'll have to tell us. I don't remember. I just see he's an Xbox guy, so I see it post on my Xbox stream like, "Hey, Matt is streaming" or something. Right. It might be PC too, but
I could start streaming Call of Duty so you guys could see how bad I am.
I don't know if anybody needs to see that, but okay.
Jeremy Downs has seen it in person.
Yeah, that's all you need. All right, so I think we're transitioned and we're ready.
Yep.
Basically. So.
Yeah, can you still hear us both?
Everything's still up.
Everything's good. And we're back. Thank you for everyone who was hanging out with us in the chat while we did our little beer break. And I, kind of fiddly fucked through a horrible rendition of a Strathspey.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear you, so hopefully you did as well as I did.
Not great. I didn't do great. Let's just put that. But I was playing lazy, I was lazy playing. Sometimes you just play for fun.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah.
Who plays for fun? Jesus.
So it's the only reason I play. Actually, you know what? This is interesting. This might turn into a longer episode than we anticipated. But I have an interesting question because we briefly mentioned at the beginning of the show. We talked about how we weren't doing nothing because we were doing like the AGM for the band that shall not be named, and all that stuff. I would like to go into that a bit. So Fusco, this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was your first AGM as Prez.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
What are your thoughts? How do you think it went?
I thought it went pretty well. We we planned it a week in advance, which was helpful, and you put together a slideshow, slide presentation for all the various officers' presentations. So that part went pretty smoothly. We just got enough people to show up to actually be able to vote technically correctly. But I thought overall it went pretty good considering people seemed energized after the fact. Of course,
I think
next week's
functionally it was very smooth.
Yes, correct.
And you could tell it was a meeting that was run by people who hate disorganized meetings.
That's true. Yep.
Because it was. I mean, the current board of the band is a lot of people who have other shit to do.
Correct.
So we really don't fiddly fuck around on our meetings hardly at all. Like, we go in with an agenda, we knock out points. If we still socialize a bit, and but we do a lot of that more at the end.
Right.
Or in the hour we're waiting for Babs to show up.
Correct.
Because she's always horrendously late. But yeah, I thought functionally it was very smooth. I thought the reaction, at least my interpretation of the reaction from the members of said band was, what's less than apathetic? Like what's the term you would use for? I mean, I know what I would normally say. I would say panda syndrome. And we've come back to this a million times on this show of like every now and then we'll do something and it's like, will you guys not even like fuck to save your own species? Like, will you not even just be remotely involved? Like,
it is remarkable. There's a couple examples of that. Well, I think have we talked about this? Oh no, we talked about the recording where the guy showed up to record without all of his uniform parts.
What do you mean without all? I'd say without 50%.
Most of it, yeah. He remembered his kilt, which is about it. And that's kind of the same general thing that happened in the meeting outside of the people that have something to do, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's I don't know what the word is. Is there a level below apathy? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's pipe band is the word below apathy.
Yeah, the word below apathy
is pipe band. Yeah,
the word below apathy is pipe bander.
Pick any board of any pipe band ever, and I bet you they would say something very similar. And then you just take it out of their hands and tell them what they're going to do, and then they bitch because they didn't have a say in whatever stupid thing.
That's what I was going to get into next. Is like you get the catch-22 of like, I don't want to do anything. Okay, well here's what then, or I don't want to make any decisions or be involved. I want you to tell me what to do. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Well, I didn't get to choose that.
Yeah, I would have done it this way. Like, nope. Fucking hell. It's a constant. I mean, as I like to say, and I stole this from a great man, but we took many laps around Retard Park, and I know I'm not supposed to use the retard word, but this is what tends to happen in a pipe band is you're circling stupidity nonstop, you know?
Yeah.
So
you run 3 laps around Dumbass Square and you end up in the same spot.
There you go. That's a more politically correct way to say it. There you go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, yeah, the meeting, I guess it was interesting because, like, generally speaking, the board is pretty solid. Like, people get their shit done for the most part. You know, maybe delayed, but okay, whatever. They're getting things done. But then, like, to get people to show up to the meeting and or care and or practice and or do anything resembling a pipe band activity is, like, mind-numbingly painful.
Hey, I already presented my idea. Just fire everybody and start over.
I say we take it. My other idea was take it out of nonprofit status and just make it a complete.
Just make it a company.
Yeah, like all right, you're gonna work for me, bitch. I don't know. Like, I don't know what this solution is. I like we talked about this with Hoinige last time.
The solution is dues.
Well, dues, yeah, that will clean people out probably.
We may not, we may not be able to fix their apathy, but we'll have money in the bank.
Yeah, we'll get them some goddamn t-shirts. I don't know. That's what motivates Wake, apparently. Just fucking swag. Just keep throwing swag.
Just put logos and shit.
Or do it the way Chicago does it and be like, all right, I am the all-seeing, all-knowing controller of this situation. Here's 2 guys that'll help me, and everybody else can just do what the fuck I say or get out. That could be the way to go.
But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know a way around it. I think there was no more apparent moment to me than when the fact that currently the vice president position is open because of the Correct. 15 band members that were there.
Right.
Nobody would step up.
Right.
I'm like, guys, you don't have to do anything.
Almost anything. Vice president is just sort of tiebreaker sometimes and whatever.
It's like tiebreaker, and like when I was
have an opinion once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing it for the 2 years I was doing it, it was basically the only goals I had were use my experience running nonprofits to help the band wherever I could, and get special projects done.
Right. Yep.
Like the projects that nobody else had the time or skill set to do, I did those.
Correct. Yep. Granted, like, there's really nothing left other than
it's because I did it all.
I mean, maybe in 5 years we'll redo.
That's because it's all fixed.
Some of those things, but But right now, there's nothing to do. But I don't know.
But yeah, it's just like one of those things where I'm like, really? None of you bastards? Like,
However, I will say this: as the president and/or pipe major, I think it's both. I don't know. Like I would much rather have nobody than somebody that was going to do nothing. So, and I remember like you chasing down a couple people, you and somebody else. I'm not won't name names.
Yeah,
but chasing down people.
And our member at large were trying to like rustle up some
people. Hey, maybe you should do this. Blah blah blah. And the whole time I'm thinking like, I'm just gonna have to chase them and be aggravated because they're not gonna show up. They're gonna forget. And I'm like, I'd rather not have to deal with it. Like I'd rather have nobody and do it myself, whatever that is, than have to chase somebody. And that's the worst thing. If you're running an organization, chasing people down to do things is the worst. You know, so
it's just such an interesting like difference in experience than what I do with like the games, where like with the games, people are chasing me down. 90% of the time, if something is bottlenecked, it's my fault.
Right.
Because someone's doing something and they've taken it 90% of the way, and it just needs that last 10% of polish and Josh McEachern magic before it can like go out. Right. And I'm just, impossible to get a hold of, intentionally so.
Well, you got to make yourself scarce so it seems like you're an important person or something. I don't know.
I tell people, and it's so funny because I get volunteers and chair people and like even the board members of the games, and they're like, well, I feel bad because I'm just bugging the shit out of you. I'm calling you, I'm texting you, I'm emailing. I was like, no, don't feel bad. Do it. Like if you don't, Fusco could tell you this. If you don't bug the ever-loving shit out of me, I'm not going to get to you.
Right.
So I don't take it personally. It doesn't bother me. Feel free to bug the ever-loving shit out of me because I am, squirrel. Like,
very true.
Yep. I'm like, what do you mean you need revisions on the flyer? I'm rebuilding the fucking distributor on my truck today. Like, what?
Yeah. So that's it is fascinating to see the level of I don't know. Maybe pipe band brings in I don't know what's the right word to say it. Lethargic people. I don't know. If you judge their level of practice, I guess we're gonna get in. This is a good transition into the pipe band contest that we did, because what I realized when we got into the pipe band contest and watching it live, I don't know if you watched it live, but I was like there because
no, I couldn't watch it live, but I did go back and watch some of the performances, and I did watch ours.
Yeah, but did you see like the way Joe did it, how he interviewed, or he just had people introduce their bands and stuff like that, whatever.
It was brilliant. I thought it was a great show.
No, he did a great job. Yeah, no, but what occurred to me was like, I remember how down we were after we recorded, like you and I specifically, about like, I want to kill everyone, like for forgetting the uniform parts, for forgetting the first Strauss Bay, for just making mistakes, like playing low A's where there's low G's, whatever the fuck, right? And then like listening to everybody else.
The name of the first Band That Shall Not Be Named album, A Symphony of Errors.
But I remember thinking like I wanted to kill everyone that day, but I was in a pretty good mood. Hey, we're playing together. It was fun. All right, whatever.
I did. Yeah, I was disappointed musically, but I was very grateful just to like be able to play with people and be out again.
Sure. Yeah. But then going through the show part where Joe played everybody and all that, and like listening, I'm like, all right, we are by no means. I thought we were going to be the worst. I was like, this is the worst.
No, dude, there were service bands in the contest. We were good.
Well, they had a whole service band section, but that's not the point. Like even in grade 4, like obviously we didn't come in last, and we didn't even have a bass drummer. So I'm like, all right, maybe we're not as bad as I think we are. I don't know what benefit that does to me to know this fact, but like I'm pushing for very, very good all the time.
Yes, always.
Like I want to be, I think that's like I want to be in grade 3 someday. And it's been 12 years of me wanting to be in grade 3, and we're not even close. But like my perspective of where everybody's at is maybe skewed in the wrong direction, and maybe in the right direction because you're trying to improve. but also in the way hard on people direction as well. Perhaps.
I think that's fair though. I mean, when I think about it, in my opinion, the only reason that we achieve pretty okay is because we're trying for really good.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that.
And I can understand how that can be hard, especially on the players, and I understand how our expectations are potentially beyond their ability currently.
Right.
But I'm not going to lower my expectation. I want you to raise your ability.
Right. And that's the thing that becomes frustrating to me is I don't see, in the end, results are all that matter, right? But whatever they're doing, they're not doing the right thing because it's not getting them there. Now, we've been doing this for years. We've had Jack Lee out for 2 years, minus this year that everything was off. But 2 years previous to that. And then we've been working hard for this for years. Like Jack Lee's not telling anybody anything that I'm not saying. It's just another voice saying it, which is fine. That's an important thing too. But
and he calls everyone a cunt less than we do.
Way less, yeah. And he threatens to kill them way less. But
he threatens to kill them less.
He doesn't want to like cut their throats and like watch them bleed enjoyably, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like nothing's
he's not gonna slit their stomachs open into a Glencairn and drink it while he watches them.
Exactly. He's not going to give him a blood eagle for fucking hitting that low G where the low A is. You know what I mean?
that is the clip. I'm gonna YouTube that clip. I'm gonna put it in the band app. Be like, next time I hear a fucking low A where there's a low G in the march, this is what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna give you a blood eagle and just show him that fucking clip. Eagle. Yeah. But holy shit. But yeah, man, it's like I don't see people. Okay, I don't know what they're doing because I don't teach our band members, generally speaking. But I know they must be doing something wrong because they're not improving. And the reason I know this is because when I look at I feel this is going to come across a little harsh, but when I look at like dojo students, even in my beginner class, like these guys are making leaps and bounds strides on a pretty regular basis, but it's not. The approach from me is not any different. Like I'm just doing the dojo method regardless. I do that in band, I do it in dojo style, teaching, whatever. It's their method. But the students make leaps and bounds improvements because of their mentality and what they want out of it. Where I don't see that coming from our band members, generally speaking. I see like there's certain people that are highly motivated, but in their head they have the wrong approach, in my opinion. They're like coming at it from the traditional style of, well, I'm just gonna get thrown a bunch of tunes. I'm gonna attend a bunch of summer schools and they're gonna throw a bunch of tunes at me and like hold that note longer and all that stuff that doesn't add up to any actual or any short-term improvement. Maybe in the long term it's gonna matter, but we've been dealing with these people for 10 years, 5 to 10 years, and nothing's changed. So, or it's just such a slow grind of improvement. And maybe our expectations are too high, or my expectations are too high for that. But I don't know. Like I did it.
I mean, I think you nailed it immediately. I think it's mentality, right? Like you got people who are committing to a lot of practice to do dojo and to showing up very regularly for their classes. And I think and this is gonna sound fucking cynical to me, but I'm a very cynical person. Because they have skin in the game. They're fucking paying to be there.
Yeah, that could be part of it. Yeah.
Like in my opinion, if you were a dues paying member, you would either show up to practice or you would quit.
Yeah. And in the end, and that's kind of been Joe Brady's philosophy. I think. Well, I mean, he doesn't want people to quit, obviously, not specifically, but like either get shit or get off the pot kind of concept. Like do it or don't. We don't care. We're going forward with it regardless. And we've always struggled with numbers, so we've always been like, we'll put up with a little bit of nonsense because we just need the people. And I think that's the kiss of death. Is like when you're in that position where you just need the numbers. Like. All right, so this thing that happened when we recorded where the guy forgot his uniform and shit, like if I didn't need him, I would have been like, all right, you're out. But I needed him. And that drives me fucking nuts that I need that guy.
Well, it's the same thing with piping mistakes. Like we would have cut people.
Correct. If I had somebody to fill in.
if I had a piper waiting in the wings, that would have been a different lineup, 100%.
And this is the brilliance of what grade 1 is dealing with, is like like, you know, Inverary or fucking Field Marshal or whatever, is that there's 1,000 people waiting in the wings for that guy's spot. So guess what? You better get your shit together, because there's a lot, and we don't have in grade 4. Obviously, I would say all the way up to probably grade 2. Maybe you start to get a little bit of that. There's no fear. It's like, guess what? Like that band needs you, and we're friends, so we're just gonna deal with it. Like we dealt with this a little bit on the Graham episode where we talked about like who do we need versus what our opportunities are and all that stuff. You know, that we talked about.
Yeah.
Like you know, like some people you just, and they're friends of yours. You've known them for 15, 20 years, and you kind of, oh fuck, I guess I got to kind of put up with this nonsense a little bit, you know. So I don't know. It's interesting because the results were not what I expected. I was like, hey, we're gonna come in fucking dead last.
That was a pity fuck. What are you talking about?
You think so? I wonder.
I think so.
Because we'll go over the results.
I think it was a pity fuck.
How? Like, explain.
I didn't watch all the other performances.
I heard them. It's not. I don't think it's outrageous to think that we did.
Were they rough?
There were some rough ones, yes.
Okay, because for me, like, you know, it's always a tier of things that get you either DQ'd or you lose, right? And you know, you said it earlier. Bad start. Okay, you're immediately going to be underneath someone, just because that's the first thing I'm hearing. So that's going to be a big no-no to me if you have a shit start. Mm-hmm. Bad stop, easy DQ, like easy to say, hey, like I'm no longer considering you for a higher level position unless someone violently shits themselves during the performance.
Right.
And then mistakes, and you get mistakes, you get blatant ones. That's where I start to say, hey, like, you know, you're making it a lot easier for me not to give you a placing.
Correct. However, the thing is, it's still in comparison to everybody else that performed that day. And what was interesting about it was that, like, I heard everybody, and I'm like, holy shit, like, we're not even close to the worst. Like,
really?
Which is shocking to me because I thought we were awful. You know,
but I think that goes back to mentality, right? Like when
Correct.
we talk about pushing hard, which we do. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like I know we push these players really hard.
Correct.
I've been witnessing it for the entire time I've been in the band, but it's what has to be done. Like they're not gonna pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Right.
Like so, no, we're gonna drag them, fucking kicking and screaming. And will they dislike us for it? Very likely, but they're fucking better players.
Yeah, but do they care? Do they care? Does that? I think we got to figure out what do they care about, and how we can translate it into being useful for us.
Yeah, I mean, here's let me put it easily. Like when we show up to play a gig or a practice or a performance, people line up, get their shit together, pay attention, put their pipes together, get them warmed up when you start playing, put them down when you're not playing, and we're generally pretty fucking close to each other. Right. Like something as simple as that was years of people feeling like we were being too much of a dick.
Like, what do you mean I can't go play a concert in the corner on the one night a week I practice?
Like do you remember how long it took just to get that basic level of like, no, this is how we do it. We play together. We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life, motherfucker. Like, exactly. I also watched that on the plane, and it was also shit.
Bad Boys? Oh my god.
The new Bad Boys was also not very good.
I didn't know they made a new Bad Boys, to be quite honest.
Will Smith is laughing all the way to the fucking bank.
Well, that's his entire career, isn't it? Much like Waken District, he's laughing his way to the bank. Or Joe Brady.
Just like McClellan bagpipes.
Mrs. Brady, which is, by the way, Joe Brady is Mrs. Brady. Every time I say Mrs. Brady, I mean Joe.
I thought it was funny because I sent him a card. I sent him a holiday card. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you saw the photo that he posted, but I addressed it Dr. Brady and husband.
I saw it. Yep. Oh, that's great.
And then on Graham's, I put Graham air quotes Hillary Gunyon.
I'm sure he loved it. Yeah, no, I saw the Joe Brady one. You know what Joe Brady thinks about that? He's like
laughing all the way to the bank.
All the way to the bank. He's like, look at the plantation I live on.
Yeah, let's say, look at my. He's like, I live in the big house, bitch.
Yeah, like I've got 221 square feet in my place, and Joe's got like a fucking plantation. He's got people. I'm not going to say who, but he's got people working for him.
It's like I live in the big house. I don't live in the servants' quarters.
Oh fuck! Oh, this is where we lose all our sponsorships.
Institutional racism.
It's not our fault, people. It was taught to us down through generations.
Yeah, we didn't do it. So this is kind of a segue. So we did the weight contest. That's what we've been kind of talking about.
Yeah.
The litmus test, the pH test of what's been going on with the band during the pandemic was we participated in the Waken District mini band online solo world premiere champion. I don't know what the fuck they call it.
Mini bands. I don't know. I forget. Band ready. Something.
Band ready premiere world pipe pod band cast up to the line with a bunch of cunts. Who knows? And it was good fun. I think we did like 3 practices and then we played it. And we just did the MSR because I can only imagine what would have happened if we tried to do the fucking medley.
We didn't even attempt it. It was like, I'll give the other bands credit because we didn't even attempt it.
Yeah, bullets are too expensive for us to have attempted the medley.
We didn't have it a year ago. Like,
let's say, hey, guess what? The MSR is going to be different.
Yeah, all next year, like everything changes.
That first fucking Strass Bay is gone.
Oh yeah, it's over, Johnny. It's over.
2 years listening to that tune being butchered.
Yep. Like it's not even that hard tune. Yeah, it's got some cross noise problems, but
I think it's just deceptively simple. And yeah, I'm tired of trying to fix the broken leg on that horse. I'm just gonna shoot it.
Yeah, let's just shoot that horse. It's over. It was a good idea. It was a good theory. It just didn't work out.
Hey, I'll keep it in my mental repertoire. Great tune.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's Fred Morrison, so everybody loves Fred Morrison. So
So we did the contest, and it was judged by playing for sheets. And so, Fusco, you mentioned earlier that you were kind of surprised at us not necessarily outrunning the bear, but potentially outrunning some of our fellow campers.
Correct. That's a good way to put it for sure. So we can go over some of the results or some of the comments that they made.
Yeah, I'd like to get some of your feedback, because I will say this: as much shit as I like to give Cammy, looking over these sheets that we got from Play for Sheets, website redacted until they pay us.
Exactly.
These are actually, I think this is a really good way to set this up. I mean, it's graphically horrible, but the insight is great, and I think that we talked about this a little bit before the show. I think there's like a real opportunity here of having more detailed assessment of playing because they have more time and they can rewatch it if they need to.
Correct. Which I think is sort of the benefit of an online contest, is that there's no like in the moment decision, which, some people like would argue that that's better and some people argue that this is better. There's obviously different sides to that, but in the end, if our ultimate goal by competition is to improve as individuals and or bands, then the more time that they can give us, the better, right? Like we're not, it's not the world's is in the moment. That's like judging the Olympics. This is your chance. This is what you got. Perform at the height of stress, pressure, and yeah, but that's a thing. But at grade 4, that's not the thing, right? It's like, what are we trying to accomplish by competition? We're trying to hopefully help these people to improve in general, right? So I think the more time gives them more opportunity to give more specific feedback. So like everybody's experienced the on the day at a Highland Games sheet where, one, you can't read anything they say. 2, it's like everything like, says the same. It's all the same.
It's like if your doctor wrote it, but they were drunk.
Right. But it's always the same comments, and it's like no insight into improvement, like this would have made you better kind of stuff. Like you would, again, it depends on the pipe major and how they take it as well. But in the end, like hopefully you want insight into how to make your band better, not necessarily how to beat the guy that was just in front of you. Everybody thinks that, but that's short-term thinking. That's not long-term thinking, right? So,
and do you tend to take that insight orally or rectally?
I prefer rectally if I can if I can help. But I do like the format of giving them more time to actually be constructive. So like we can go through some of the comments, and I have no problem. Like a lot of people are really weird about like sharing their sheets, which I find odd because, and I think the reason for that is because it really, well, I don't know, but it points out like how the same they are and how like it's just arbitrary how they're. It's not arbitrary. It's subjective how they choose who wins and whoever their preference is, and which is fine. Like that's what we signed up for, their opinion, right?
Yeah, but it's also like having a company where like you try to have a policy against employees discussing salary, right? It's like no, like this the only person that helps is the person
is the
you're
company.
convinced you need.
Right. Or the company, because it keeps everybody's salaries low because people won't negotiate against each other, right? So which is very true.
Yeah.
So but yeah, no,
so
I think
I'm not gonna don't share your sheets with anyone because I don't want everyone to know that I told you all to hold the first low A in the measure of your MSR. Like
right.
Like, let me guess. You played one of these 7 billion tunes that goes da 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 in the first part. Hold the low A.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So the other thing that I liked about their sheets was there was ensemble comments on both sheets. So there was a piping sheet, a drumming sheet, and then both of those guys commented on ensemble, not just they didn't have a separate ensemble guy. And I don't know why that was set up this way, but I thought that was interesting that at least we got ensemble comments from both angles, piping and judging. So normally in a contest like the ensemble guy, whoever gets that job is maybe a drumming judge, like an Ed Best type who gets the ensemble that day, or maybe it's a piping judge. So the angle of ensemble that day is based on whatever their expertise is in, right?
Yeah.
So both of these guys commented and talked about that. So
yeah, and it's interesting because typically, like you said, typically when you get ensemble stuff, it is very heavy leaning towards drums.
One or the other.
So it's like you get like 2 drum sheets. In my experience, anyway, you usually get like 2 drum sheets and 1 pipe sheet.
Well, out here it does. Generally speaking, they're supposed to have 2 piping judges, an ensemble, and a drumming judge. But in smaller games, they can't afford that, so they have 1 piping, 1 ensemble, 1 drumming, and then if the ensemble guy's a drumming guy, you get essentially 2 drumming sheets. So yeah, that definitely happens for sure. So, but yeah, so where do you want me to go with this? How do you want me to?
I just want to know your kind of. You don't have to read it. You don't have to read through it all. Just kind of, what are you thinking that was very apparent to you? Was it? I mean, obviously, errors is the first thing that's very apparent.
Well, for example, he talks about
there's no disputing errors.
Yeah, there's no question. So, like he talks about in the Strass Bay, decent break to the Strass Bay. Love the tune, probably in a medley rather than an MSR, but nice to listen to. Big problems with mistakes here. Eventually, this is funny. Eventually, the safe option is taken and high A is held. But it took so long for that to happen, which
way too long.
Which we coach constantly. As soon as you feel it, Jack has said this a million times. As soon as you feel it before it happens, you know it's going to happen.
Yeah,
go to high A and just wait. Just wait, motherfucker.
A mistake on your chanter is like a fart. You feel it coming.
You feel absolutely. You see it. You feel it before it happens, and we've talked about this a million times. Like, just like what are you trying to prove by ruining everything for 2 parts while you're figuring this out? So
yeah, don't fly to the bumblebee it.
Yeah. So obviously this happens, and we got to keep coaching this, but.
There's 9 fucking notes. If you guess, you are statistically inclined to get it wrong.
Yeah, and especially in a mini band contest, obviously it's way worse because it's more obvious. You can hide things with numbers, and that's very true. He says this specifically. He says he's referring to going to the high A. He says this is good bandsmanship. If you're having a nightmare, get to high A. The problem with mini band is there's not enough players to cover this error. A shame, as this performance had a lot of potential. So, that's very telling in that things were. I mean, we didn't have the best tone, but okay, nobody's played in forever. Fine, fair enough. But we were playing pretty well, expression-wise, all that kind of thing.
I would say competitively, our tone was pretty damn decent. Blowing stuff here and there, but I mean, I listened to a lot of their bands, and I didn't think nobody knocked my dick inside of itself with their tone.
Yeah. One band was very good, I thought, but other than them, which was Kenny Heiner's band, actually, I thought they were remarkably good. They were like grade 5 or something. I don't remember which version of his band it was because he's got a 2 or something. But they were remarkably
like the
good.
B band of his maybe.
Yeah, because he's got a service band version and like a grade 5 version, but they were remarkably good.
They sounded really. That was the same band. Didn't we feature? I think we featured them on a Win of the Week too.
We did a couple months ago.
Because their tone was fucking killer.
Correct. Yep. So they did really well. But here's a good example of that, like exactly what you just said. He says in the drone comment, drones well set, but only affected occasionally by pressure fluctuation. So exactly what you're talking about, like pretty well set. I mean, it wasn't brilliant, but I could have been better. But like we played for an hour and a half that day. I bet you nobody, maybe other than me, has played for that kind of time in 9 months. You know, no so way. By the end, like you're just gassed. And that's reasonable to expect. You know. So there's a little bit of issues with keeping it steady.
And like I think it was a combination. I think it was a combination of people being gassed, just having the physicality for the instrument, which you have to maintain. It's perishable. Mm-hmm. And very then a lot of the underblowing I read as uncertainty. Like people would get to parts to where they weren't sure if they had it nailed, and they would underblow, which is a common thing. You'll get someone who're like, "Well, I'm unsure. I may play this wrong. Let me underblow a bit in case I have to cut out." And it's like, never do that. Like just blow steady, go to high A. Mm-hmm. I can think of like a dozen people who can effectively cut their chanter without really noticeably affecting the overall tone. 2 of them are here.
Right.
Yeah. The other 10 don't live in the continental United States. Like it's just like, it's a very rare thing to be able to do that effectively.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So don't assume you can do it, and don't like preemptively start underblowing because you're freaking out about the part. Like fuck off to high A, just like they said.
Yeah, just do it sooner than later. I don't know what the mentality is, and I haven't figured out how to fix that, of like fighting through it versus. And I mean I get it, a human aspect of that, but like that's not. It's not what's good for this situation, you know.
I think people honestly can't hear themselves. Like, you know, we've had this before, especially in small band settings, where it's like when you're playing a mistake, I don't think people understand how loud that is to everybody else.
Well, you made a good point, and I right after the first, I think it was the first practice after we recorded, or maybe after it happened, I forget. But we had a practice, and I couldn't be there, but you were there, and you were there with the people that were in the group that day that we recorded, and you played it back for them, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And you said something to the effect of like, "This is what Fusco and I hear in the moment. You guys don't hear it, but this is what's happening. Like we hear this. Yeah. It's like a fucking hammer over the head." Like,
yeah, it's
got to get this together.
Incredibly blatant, and I think that was like a revelation for them. It was like, guys, we've told you before, record yourself playing, play it back, listen to it. You can fucking delete it afterwards. I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah, nobody ever has to hear it other than you.
But you need to start understanding what you sound like.
Right.
And the only way to do, and you're not going to get it in the moment because you're freaking out about 100 different fucking things.
Yep.
Am I standing in the right place? Do I have to poop? Have I had too many beers? Do I know the Strasbay? Are my drones in tune? Like,
exactly.
You got to start removing things from the conscious and putting them in the subconscious.
Right. Know? Exactly. Like, yeah. Speaking of that, vamp for a second. I gotta pee.
Bladder of an 8-year-old girl. I see Wake. I'm assuming that's Joe in the chat. I see Bradley Cannon. Hello, my dude. Sorry, my contact prescriptions name. Oh, and Rabbi says, "Well done on the edit of the Graham episode." Thank you, Rabbi. Lindsay, I have never been taught anything by my brother. I would probably drown him. And that's pretty much everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's having a good New Year so far. We're a little medium energy because we're socially distanced, and I'm hanging like a bat. But we power on. Also, you guys get to see the non-usual camera angle of the studio, which is a fucking mess. Oh shit, he's back. Stop talking about him.
Fair enough.
So, what are your overall thoughts on the weight contests and the playing for sheets results?
I think
tie it in a bow for me.
All right, so I think it was a wonderful event because we got to play again. I hope more people do more of this in the future. I think it proved the point of associations being ancient and unnecessary, potentially, because we can organize our own thing, and unless you care about the points at the end of the day, like there's a way cheaper way to do that. So there's that, and then I think I thought the Play for Sheets guys, in general, did a good job. Like the results were very helpful. Obviously they have to make a decision of who places where, and so they have to make comments about like, hey, it would have been nice to have a base. Like, yeah, we would have loved that. Like,
I'm about to say, you're telling me.
It's like obnoxious. It's obnoxious to hear that comment because it's like, duh, we've been dealing with that for years. Like, hey, it would have been great to have a drum section for fucking 3 years. We dealt with it. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Literally, if I was not the essential personnel to the pipe corps, I would have been playing bass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
anybody else.
The moment that we have warm bodies playing pipes with steady tone, my black ass is going to be on the bass drum immediately.
Exactly. Yeah. But I thought they did a good job. It's nice to see good comment. And I've seen this with the online solo contests as well. These guys have lots of time to give you really good feedback.
Really good feedback.
So, like, things that could be improved, things that, like, gives you a clue, like, oh, okay, now we know where to focus on. Oh, the Strauss bass, we knew this. But sometimes you got to point it out to the players that just become tone deaf to the pipe major or the drum sergeant saying this. So, hey, Blair Brown says, the Strauss Bay isn't that good and the dynamics aren't that good. So, like, okay, we really got to focus on that. Oh, by the way, your tuning isn't, you got to bring the pitch of the snares up. Oh, well, I like the old school style. Like, nobody gives a fuck. What we care about is what the judge thinks because that's what we're trying to be better at. Now, that doesn't mean they're be all end all and music is right or wrong, but this is what our audience is for this moment. Know your audience, play to them because that's what we're trying to do. I'm not trying to change the game. Let the fucking Inverray change the game. Like, I just want to have our players be better than they were the day before, and this kind of thing helps encourage that. And I hopefully more people do this sort of thing.
It's a fucking absolute 100% accomplished proof of concept on doing the online mini band, in my opinion. Like, I think that they nailed it, and I do think that it's one of those things where we've talked about this with Joe 100 times of like, hey, if we'll just do it ourselves. We want to get together, we want to play, we want to get critiqued, we want to know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Like, that's just it,
right?
Because we're fucking musicians, and that's what we do. We critique everything. Fuck, dude, we critique the placement of logos on fucking shirts. We critique everything.
Well, we are assholes, so we do these things. Yes.
Yeah, like you get a bunch of fucking type A's and you give them music, you give them instruments, and this is what fucking happens.
Right, exactly. So, yeah.
So, kind of going into that, that leads into our next bit. 2021 season, man. What are you thinking? I think we're going to see a lot more of this kind of stuff.
I think so.
I think this
is a good proof
is going to be distributed.
Yeah, this is a good proof of concept. I mean, I hope it is anyway. Like, it was fun. I think a lot of the bands were, like, all the people that I talked to after the fact that were there. Granted, we were the only West Coast band that participated, which is also kind of telling because I did share this with others.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, maybe the bands in California can't because they're not. It's like a fucking whole different thing in California.
Yeah.
But Arizona is like fucking. It's like free for all over there. Like, they're 100% open. Like, go do what you want. Like, why are none of them doing anything?
Well, in Utah too. I mean, Utah until recently was a free for all.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why none of them participated? I don't understand. But I also know that none of the associations shared because I shared it with them, and none of them shared it with anybody else. So who knows if they even knew about it? But I mean, maybe they did, but either way, hopefully this is something like mini bands. I think are viable, especially in these times. I think they were viable before, especially because we suffered with numbers, and a lot of bands do. Like, why not have a?
I like how the mini band requirement is like basically our max strength.
That's like the best we can do.
If we can get every swinging dick out with a drum and a bagpipe, then we can hit a mini band requirement.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But that's what happens when you have like I don't know, like standards. Because everybody that doesn't have standards went to the local fucking service band, and there's like a million of them. But guess what? They never play. So like, what use are they? You know?
Well,
so
yeah, I mean they only do parades, and it sounds like a fucking dog pound. Like,
right.
And there's guys in that band that I know that are good fucking players,
or have been, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, you get good people, but then it's like nobody cares about doing a good job. So,
or they don't want to be told what to do. They don't. There's a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
So, but in the end, I think it's a good thing. Hopefully, we'll see more of this. I'm hoping to see maybe even games go outside of the associations and just do their own thing, or anybody. Like, you got to give credit to Wake and District because they funded this. Like, they paid the pay for sheet guys to do this, play for sheet guys. Excuse me. So, like.
And that costs easily like $50 in a spoon.
I mean, that's no joke. I mean, they took it out of their own pocket. So obviously there's money involved, and that's where the association theoretically comes in, is that they pay, well, and they even don't. The games do it in the end. But like, somebody's got to pay for these guys to judge, or you just come up with a different system. Like, I think this will create some creativity in how things get done.
So. I mean, we're talking about it for Vegas.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be April. We're not going to be able to do an event.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I heard, we heard that Phoenix was going to try to do a Highland Games, and just like December 20th, they posted a letter that, all right, we're canceling. We're not doing it. So
yeah, Woodland did too. Like, Woodland canceled. They're like, we can't confirm that we'll be able to do this. Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing: if I thought I was going to be able to do an event in April of 2021, the work would have started in October.
Correct. Yeah, you'd be so far behind at this point.
It's a moving target, So we're talking, and like my pitch was exactly what you said. Like, I was like, hey, we'll do an online piping contest, get our piping sorted out, and then towards the end of the year, when we're probably more open and we don't have to worry as much, we're going to look at doing something that's just athletics focused.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, and it sucks for the fucking vendors, but I can't set myself on fire to keep them warm. That's just.
Yeah, it's not your job to provide economy for them. They're on their own, So,
but and then of course, as soon as I like talked about that, everyone's like, "Well, what are you gonna do for the dancers?" I don't fucking know. Fucking pitch me something. Like,
yeah, give me an idea, because I know nothing about dancing. Like, give me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about dance. Pitch me an idea. I'm not opposed to anything.
Like, how do you do it reasonably?
Dude, you think the fucking piping associations are a pain in the ass? Try dealing with the fucking Highland Dance Associations.
Oh, of course. It's all women. It's a giant pain in the ass. I wouldn't want nothing to do with that.
It's all chicks, and they're all synced up.
They're all in the same fucking cycle. Jesus Christ, I want no part of that goddamn nonsense.
Like, dude, trust me, I love our local Highland Dance people, because they have insulated me from the bullshit of like the larger dance association stuff. Like, they are my heroes. Even when they're being a pain in the ass, I'm just like, oh, thank God I have you, so that I don't have to fucking deal with the people you're dealing with.
Well, at least you're only getting one pain in the ass instead of like 20.
I'm grateful to be insulated from that somewhat by the very hard work of some local dance people who volunteer for the games.
Right, exactly.
Because otherwise, you wouldn't fucking have Highland Dance.
No, yeah, like, we're cutting
like
it.
The seventh time they pissed me off, I'd just be like, you know what? Shut it down.
I can't only imagine.
But that's how everything works at that event. Like, a lot of it is, thank God we have really hardworking volunteers that are dealing with people before they get to my level of like, why are you talking to me?
Right.
Because I'll be an asshole. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I got to get stuff done. It doesn't matter.
You'd be like that guy Brian at the library dealing with fucking the fairy godmother.
Oh, fuck me. I got got my ear chewed off for that comment, by the way.
Oh, I know. We haven't brought that up in a while, but I'm well aware. I have not spoken to her since that episode. That was like 2 years ago.
I got fucking reamed over that at the Havasu gig.
Yes, you saw her after me. I've not seen her since, but the point being, listen. Sometimes you're being a pain in the ass. Like, I get it, but my job was to look like a hero to the performers, because that's like, I asked them to play or dance or sing or whatever the fuck they do. So when the fucking library text is like, oh, blah 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 blah, like, I'm going to defend the performers. Like, I don't give a fuck. Make it happen, Captain.
That's the move. Yeah.
Your job is to make what we want happen. Unless
make daddy smile.
You know what? She wants the goddamn piano open. Figure it out. Yeah.
Open. It's a community library. It's not the fucking Albert Symphony Hall. Like,
right. Those guys would have figured it out, because they're obviously where they are for a reason. They're at the Albert Hall for a reason.
Hey man, I ran a fucking event sound tech department for 2 years. That was my job when I was in college. Everybody knew. It's just, okay. I need this. Okay. Do you know how you're gonna do it? Nope. Figure it out.
Yeah. Just say okay. Bring it to me. We'll figure it out. If we don't, then we'll go back. But don't say fucking no right out of the gate.
Nah. Don't have your first response be no. Mm-hmm. Because you want to sit on your ass and eat fucking M&Ms.
Imagine if Mrs. Brady's first response was no. Imagine where it would
I'm
be.
assuming the first three were.
Imagine where the pipe band world would be.
And then he just wore her down over time.
He did the Fusco method. Wear her down. Just be there, man. Be there behind her when she's at her lowest moment.
She was like, I don't think I want to have 17 cats.
Oh.
Also, you were corrected in chat. It is Dr. Brady.
Oh, yes, you're right. Dr. Brady.
Dr. Brady and husband.
And husband.
So, we're kind of talking about New Year. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
For myself?
Yeah.
No.
Just gonna keep on keeping on.
Yeah, I'm not a New Year's resolution kind of guy. Again, it's an arbitrary date. It means nothing.
There's nowhere to go but down.
Correct. I do want to actually start to get us back together in person a little more often. That's the only thing I've thought about, but it wasn't New Year specific, other than Christmas is over. Let's restart. And we proved,
get over the typical winter lull.
Yeah, we proved that we can get together back in November prepping for this contest. If people don't want to go, don't go. I don't give a fuck. But those of us that want to play together, and we'll, if you want to show up, great.
Well, we were pretty cautious.
Yeah, we spread out. People wore masks that were like, drummers wore masks. Blah blah blah. What are you gonna fucking do? Like, we drank a lot so that we kill any virus or bacteria entering our mouth.
Yeah, that's really the secret. Is you got to put a lot of alcohol in to kill.
Right.
Any potential bacteria. Yeah,
so we did all that. We did all the precautions. We drank a lot. I think that was it, really. But yeah. But I think we could do it. Like, maybe maybe twice a month. Maybe and I need to get clearance from places that we can actually get together. But, obviously the wintertime here is not as bad as most places, but you still don't want to play outside at night for sure.
Yeah, and you don't want to. It's going to be dry and cold, so you don't want to subject the instruments.
It's gonna ruin everybody's instruments. So we need to be able to play inside and big rooms kind of thing. But we can do that. And even if it's shit, like it, we have the mentality of what we were a year ago, without, because that's what we feel we can accomplish. But yet, the reality is, it's been a year of doing nothing for most people. Very little anyway. So there's a little bit of figuring out the balance as a leader, like what am I willing to subject myself to, I guess, but also like trying to be reasonable.
How much ground have you lost?
Yeah, and I imagine it's a lot, and it's trying to recalibrate what to expect, I suppose. So
Yeah, I can see that.
So but you got to start somewhere, and I think we got to make a move towards getting together again in some way.
If nothing else, just to get people to take the goddamn instrument out of the box.
Right. I mean, a lot of people say that. Like, I have nowhere to practice. I live in an apartment, and I don't really want to go to the park or whatever, especially in the wintertime. But, and I suspect that's an excuse, but it's viable. It's like, who wants to do it? Like, what's the point? So we're not doing anything. So why am I doing this? Unless you're like one of those rare few that just purely enjoys jamming for jamming's sake.
Yeah, I mean, because we're gonna have to look at what's going to be the concert situation. We do a concert in November typically.
Mm-hmm. That is completely up in the air. Like, normally we'd be at least preparing and thinking about it by a year beforehand. Like, what's going to happen next year is in the thought process, and I haven't even crossed my mind.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably start considering like repertoire, musical numbers, new tunes.
Like, can we do that? Like, because everybody's so far out of whack, nobody's practiced really much.
I mean, what's the fucking difference, right? Like,
well, it's a whole different thing.
Like, for me, it's like, what's the fucking difference between the new set that I give you that you have never played and the old set that you haven't played in a year? Like,
that's true.
like, oh, well, I gotta learn new tunes from scratch. Like, bitch, you don't know the ones that we fucking play now.
That's true. That's a very good point.
So, what's the difference?
Yep, absolutely.
I'd much rather teach someone a new Strasbay or a 4-parted Strasbay for the MSR than like listen to them fuck up the same tune for 2 years.
Correct. Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, tune's out. There we go. I have removed the cancer from the set.
Just to bring in a new cancer, but that's okay. At least for 6 months, we'll have hope. We'll have that.
Maybe if you like this, well, yeah, at least for a few months, you'll be getting it wrong because you're learning it.
Correct. Versus just being shit.
Versus just getting it wrong because you never took the time to learn it.
Right. So the hope of us, like our side, will be hopeful instead of just fucking miserable.
Maybe you'll like this one enough to fucking practice it.
Does anybody like any Strasbays enough to practice them, really? Unless we had to.
I like Strasbays. I will say this. I can't just shit talk the band that shall not be named. Overall, we actually have developed a pretty goddamn decent Strasbay feel.
We have, yes.
In our pipe core. And our drum core is kind of catching up to it.
Yeah, they're figuring it out.
The drum corps still doesn't seem to fully understand how a Strasbass is supposed to sound and like what the rhythm of a Strasbass is, but the pipes are fucking driving those Strasbass.
Yeah, no, we do have that. Yep. And again, that's dojo philosophy. Play to the beat, play ASAP. That's all you got to fucking do. At our level, they're not looking for grade 1 fucking craziness. They're just looking for togetherness and good treatment of dots and cuts, essentially.
Yeah,
and you can fake your way through a Strasbass pretty well that way. The drummers are still figuring it out.
I say to the students often, right before they roll their eyes at me, play it like it's fucking music. It's not you jackhammering your fleshlight. You need some rhythm.
That's a straight hornpipe right there.
Yeah, that's a reel. Just
no dots and cuts in that one. Just fucking hammer.
If it's Fusco, it's banjo breakdown.
Oh, Jesus. Let me tell you. Let me show you something here. The old.
We're still broadcasting, so it better not be your penis.
The old back. No, I won't show it. The old back end of the old practice chanter. It's got a pretty nice hole. You know what I'm saying? Bloop. Just saying. I never tried it.
Also, if your dick fits in there, I'm sorry.
Well, Joe Brady can handle it.
I'm sorry, guys, if your penis fits in your chanter.
Needle Dick McGee over there. Oh, Jesus.
So the last thing I have while we're talking about 2021, Chanter Rant, baby. What's CR gonna look like for the next year? We survived.
We should have done
We
this
kept the show going for a year.
Yeah, with absolutely nothing to talk about other than the first 2 months. How the fuck?
We managed to still create 52 weeks of dick jokes.
And even theoretically, at our best year yet, we had some of our best guests. Stuart Little.
Yeah, it's because they had nothing better to do because they were
Stuart
stuck
Little.
at home.
Yeah, if Stuart had actually something to do, he would have not. I'm sure he wouldn't have done the show. But hey, he still played the Glenfiddich, so What else do we have? Oh, we had our great summer series of fucking Trevor. We did that whole like June, July America Fuck Yeah with Aaron Shaw and Trevor from Pasadena.
That was really good fun.
That was a great session of shows. We pissed people off and numerous times throughout the year as well. But I thought how we pulled it off, I have no idea. But the point being that we can't do it on our own forever, can we?
No, we definitely are going to need some backup.
We need backup, and that is the point of this segment. The call for backup.
So, yes, you heard it here first, folks. The Chanter Rant team is looking for some new members. Yeah, nobody gets paid. Neither do we. So, deal with it. But we're gonna steal a page out of Big Rab's book and try to get some people who are fans of the show, friends of the show, etc., to potentially help us out with some stuff. So, things we're looking for. We need a memer. We need an official memer. This will be a person who is creating social content for us, mostly graphic content. Doesn't have to be great because it's us. So, who minds? The other thing we're looking for is we're trying to do more stuff on the YouTube channel. So we're trying to probably do clips from episodes, do a couple video clips every now and then from the 2-hour-long broadcast and post those. So if you have video experience and could edit those, that would be great. If you do not have video experience, but you do listen to every damn show, you could still help us out by like sending us timestamps of bits that you thought were like pants shittingly funny or horrible. And then we'll just go in and cut them out ourselves later.
Right.
But yeah, if you're interested in potentially working with the Chanter Rant team, send us an email, chanterrant@gmail.com. Tell us what you cannot do, and what kind of shirt you want, because that's basically the only way we can pay.
And we will.
Did I sum that up pretty well?
It's pretty good. But think about what's more important: the ego boost and the fame you'll achieve from being part of the Chanter Rant team. Isn't that really what's important here? We do it. We do it for our cocks. In the end.
The way that I described it at the beginning, while I was trying to keep people entertained in the chat while we were just being late for like a half hour, was I said, the pay is $0, but a lot of residual sexual attention.
Correct. I mean, I've made a name for myself in the residual sexual attention.
So, and I have a girlfriend, so you can pick up all my scraps, no problem.
Absolutely, yeah. Josh's, what do they call that? What do we call it? Shrapnel.
My cock is off the market.
The push shrapnel of all the women that want Josh, apparently.
the residual. So there you go. Join the team. Come be our friend. I think 2021 is going to be a good year for us. We've cleaned up our act a bit. Like, we've cleaned up our act enough to be like considered mainstream, but not enough to where like we still don't piss people off and swear a lot. So we found a really happy middle ground.
Wait till the giant pipe band that podcast girls that with the what is it called?
About the big Grace Note rant goes up to the line with the Lady Pipers podcast.
Yeah, wait till that comes out. It's going to reset the whole.
Yeah, that thing is a shit show.
Yeah, that was us pissing all kinds of people off.
Yeah, we that went very long.
Yeah, but it was fun.
I had to physically carry Fusco out of the house.
Did you really? For that? Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. I drank out an entire bottle of whiskey in one sitting. Well, yeah, between two of us, but mostly.
Well, mostly you took. I would say you took about 80% of that bottle straight to the dome.
Yeah, that was bad news.
It was impressive. I was impressed.
And I didn't throw up, at least not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, it was a rough day. But, hey, this is what we do at Chanter. If you want to drink heavily and ruin your liver, join the podcast, the Chanter Rant team.
Join the Chanter Rant team. You too can be not only famous, but infamous.
Correct. People will hate you everywhere you go. It's amazing.
People, yeah.
They will avoid the shit out of you, and it's amazing.
You can add Joe Brady to your Christmas card list.
He will send you pictures of his wife. Oh, sorry, no, I mean
cats.
Cats, yes, cats.
Joe wants to know if they get free swag. Sure, I'll give you free swag. I don't give a shit.
Yes, we will absolutely give you free swag. Joe, if you want to join the team, we are all about free swag for Wake District. By the way, so I forgot to say one last thing. JD has sent us his swag because we beat him in the contest. So the Charleston Pipe Band, the Holy City versus the City of Sin, was the big thing, and we won. So JD has sent us a bunch of swag from the Charleston Pipe Band. It hasn't arrived yet, but it's coming.
Satan always wins, baby.
He should have known better that the sin always wins.
Satan always wins.
but yeah.
All right, let's tie a bow on this, and we can hang out if people still want to kind of chat. I wanted to get some final thoughts. It is the new year. Is it the same us, Fusco?
It's the same us with a little bit of spice added on, but very good spice, not like off the wall spice. You know what I mean?
I like that. I think things are looking bright already for Chanter Rant Podcast and its fans. I want to thank everyone who tuned into this week's episode. We'll stick around for a little bit, talk to the patrons in the chat, but for the audio edit, play us out.
That was great.
All right, talk to the chat for a bit. I'm gonna go have a wee.
All right, do it.
And then maybe I'll go get Bear so people can see Bear.
Yeah, let's take a look at this friggin' thing. This goddamn dog.
This friggin' monster. Fusco, if you have license-free music, you can play it.
I don't know if they actually hear it, but I'll try. Let us see. I think it might work. Did you guys hear it in the break when we did it? Let me see if it works. Does anybody hear any background music right now? Joe Brady hears a cat. Well, that's a good start. Hey, wow, that works. That's amazing. I'm going to go for some very inspiring music right now. So who do we got out there? We got our usual crew. Aaron, Joe Brady, who stalks us like a serial killer in the night.
Wave Beats music.
Lindsay's here. Hey, Lindsay. Haven't talked to you in a while. Rob. Jesus, Brad. Rob's gonna... Rob will get a suit very quickly. We've already had to take him down off of the All of the Six Facebook page a couple of times. He's the one that offends everybody, but maybe he doesn't create them so much as share the worst ones. We're looking for people to create memes, pipe band related memes specifically. So who else we got out there? There's quite a few of you. Heather's out there. She usually follows. So, what do you think of the first show back? New Year's show. Are we going to be better than next year? I suspect it's going to be a lot of the same. But that's okay. Sometimes that's okay. Special shout out to Joe Brady's wife for sponsoring the Band Ready contest. There you go, Heather. I like it. Thank you. That's amazing. You're so sweet. Rob, can you create the best? Give us a couple samples. I'd love to see Rob's created memes. Can you imagine Rob on his own? Free form? Oh my god. I've already had to apologize for you, you son of a bitch. Lindsay, what's going on across the pond? How's your pipe band going? Your band isn't almost entirely family. So I assume you guys still get together. I've seen some of your videos, of course, jamming on the small pipes and things. Oh boy, here it comes. Joe, it's not a cat, Joe. Be careful. Don't get excited.
This is the stinky bear.
What has it got around its neck?
He's got pool noodles because he got neutered, so he's got to not be chewing.
No.
Oh, is that it?
Cardio
Stitches
actually
dissolve.
burns calories.
But this is the bear. This is the bear. He is already so heavy.
Yes, wow.
Oh, there you go. Say hi to all the peoples. Say hi to all the peoples, bear. I said hello. I am Fuzzball. All right, come on, you big chungus.
Look at him, Jesus Christ. He looks like
He's
a
fucking huge. He's 11 weeks. 9 weeks.
damn. The bear, Coach Dicka. That's Coach Dicka. Yeah, good. He's gonna be huge. So, Lindsay, why have you not played with your band in a year? Joe, I suspect he does have a belt. I'm sure he's got a knife on him. There's no doubt about that.
I have a Leatherman on my belt, a knife in my pocket, a knife in my boot, and a knife on my keys.
Yeah, so plenty of knives to go around.
Yeah. Joe, you've met me before. Always gotta have the levy, dude. This thing has got me out of a lot of jams.
Check.
And then, of course, you need the pocket. Gotta have him in case you gotta cut something and you don't want to use the knife that's on the levy. And then, just in case I'm separated from my pants but not my shoes, you go boot. Easy peasy. Adios, Joe.
You want to know why
The Ballad of
no,
Joe
7 days a
Brady.
week doesn't work for you when you're trying to lose weight? Because it never has. And I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. Cardio
Lindsay,
actually burns calories,
haven't
usually
played
in the form
nearly
of
a
carbs
year.
in the bloodstream that are then
Heather,
replaced
yeah,
with
thank
the very
you.
next meal that you
Very
eat
cute.
and stored as more fat. This is why
Also,
we
Heather,
eat
so
things
he's
low-calorie
Anatolian
foods.
Shepherd
Run
mix,
for an
so
hour
he
a
is
day.
supposedly going to
It seems
grow
like
to
you
be
get
about
softer,
130
but you don't
pounds.
actually lose any weight. And this is one of the biggest reasons why most weight loss attempts fail within the first 3 weeks. I don't do an hour of cardio. I have never done an hour of cardio in the past 5-10 years, and I
So he's going to be big.
stay
He's gonna be
sub 10%
bigger
body
than
fat
the girlfriend.
year-round. Well, you could say, well, I have a couple injuries and I can't lift heavy. You don't have to lift heavy to get in shape. You could say, well, I can't stick to a diet because I'm always hungry all the time. You can follow diets.
So I thought that was a pretty decent show there, Sco.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Nice tight edit.
Well, hopefully. We shall see. We didn't say anything offensive. Does somebody remember any timestamps of things we might have said offensive that I need to cut out later?
No, I think the only
Use the
the only
R word.
timestamp would be, I think, about an hour in. I think we did the McClellan advert.
Oh, I wrote that one down. It was not even
Okay.
an hour and it wasn't even close. Yeah, I got that one. But other than that, as long as we didn't say the N word, I think we're okay. Or the C
So
word.
dibs on editing this one.
Yeah, this is you because I've got that giant nightmare to edit.
You gotta do the big Grace Note rant one.
Yeah. Oh my god. I got to start that sooner than later, so that way.
Oh, do you want to? If I send you the graphic for the updated flyer I did, do you want to show it to the chat?
Sure.
I mean, I know it's in the. I think it's in one of the Facebook groups, but I don't know. When was the last time we talked to all those fuckers? Apparently, it was a while.
I don't remember where I saw it, but I don't remember if it was just on Facebook or you shared it.
Also, this is a great time to advertise for the Chanter Rant Discord because that's how we're hosting this right now.
Yeah, what's also noticeable that I've noticed is that the delay is the least awkward we've ever dealt with.
No, and the bit rate for the audio quality is pretty good. I mean, the only thing that's making mine slightly better is because I'm using the microphone.
Right.
But we can just get you a fucking USB mic too if we ever have to do this again. We'll get you like a nice little Logitech or something.
Right. Yeah, but it's like been remarkably easy to converse with you and not feel like we're confused because we're waiting to talk, etc. You know?
Yeah, trust me, I would do every guest through this if I thought any of these bucktooth whack jobs could fucking figure out how to use Discord.
We might have to. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it. Yeah, so we might have to make that.
I still get people Skyping in on their phone, man. Like,
oh, I know. Wait, so this is the new one, or is this the old one you just sent me?
that's the only one I haven't done anything to. Oh no, that's the one I made, the one I just sent you.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I could find the old one and send it to you.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to. I didn't know what I was looking at exactly.
That way you can get a side by side. There you go. Here's the old one coming in hot. Aaron says Discord is the tits for normal conversation. You are correct.
Come on, internet, work with me.
Granted, I should probably like paint that closet and fix some of the walls in here if I'm gonna have to have people see this angle.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm Heather McFarland says I don't think our band has figured out how to Zoom. I am surprised by the vast swaths of the population who don't know how to use Zoom because I guess they just never worked at a company before. Because like even before pandemic, I had to use Zoom for meetings for companies. Like I had clients all over the place.
Right. Yeah,
it's a core competency of being an adult. You have to be, or a business person of any kind. Like a core competency is you need to be able to run video conferencing.
Yeah, it's interesting. So this is the old one. Let's see if this works correctly. So we're going to transition on YouTube to the old one first. Are you watching YouTube, Josh? So I can tell.
I am. Yeah. No, I can see it. That's definitely the old one.
Okay, so let's switch to the new one, shall we? Let me know when you got it.
And there we go. See, easy peasy.
So what do we think?
I mean, seeing it from this far away, I want to take the text under charity event and click it like 7 pixels up.
But
other than that, fine.
Old? And new.
This is why you should pay your graphic designers.
Yeah, they do things too, just like pay your bagpiper, like somebody that's good at what they do, you know. So, and just think everybody, Josh is horribly poor, so he might even undersell himself and charge less than he might normally these days. So if you need something done,
I've been undercharging my food truck client massively. Just because, one, I like them a lot. They're friends of mine. And then, two, I think their company's cool and I need the money.
Right.
Anytime you have a client where it's like you have to do a meeting over creative and they bring the beer, that's like, oh, okay, we can get along. You're like a normal person.
Right.
So Fusco, you've been doing a lot of. I mean, this is kind of off topic, but nobody can talk back to us, so fuck them.
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of improvements to your business stuff, your business site, LasVegasBagpiper.com stuff, and I think if I can levy a critical eye, I think it's actually pretty awesome. I like it.
Anything in particular?
I like the site. I don't like the logo on the site.
Keep going.
But I like the entire build. I think the photos are fucking awesome. The LVB with the drone sticking off of it, I totally understand how that will work for your target audience. I just don't think it looks very good.
Mm-hmm. Anything else besides the site?
I like that you pulled some video clips from our best of. You got fucking teaching testimonials.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's
Yeah,
almost like I'm a real boy.
Yeah. Things that I would do. I would get your friend Josh to record more stuff for your tunes gallery. And he would probably do it for a $6.
Why? You mean audio samples?
Yeah.
Why do you think you could do it better?
Because I'm pretty sure I helped do some of these, unless you did them on your studio.
No, these are all done. These are all me. And these were just quick to get them done. These weren't me really putting too much time into it yet. Because I needed to get my chanter sorted. But
couple other things that I've seen before.
Like what?
This is good. Okay, so the guy who does what is his? I can't think of his website. He's up in like Tahoe, Sierra something. Tahoe Piper maybe Tahoe Piper is his site.
Okay,
He does a thing that I think is really cool, where you can pick like uniform, like ABC. And one is like a normal pipe band level uniform. One's like the fucking doublets and the big hat and all that shit. Mm-hmm. For people that want it done up and for pictures.
Sure.
So, one, save some money to get yourself a more goofy uniform.
Okay.
Because someone will hire an Emerald Society piper over you because they have the big stupid hat, even though they sound like shit.
Okay.
Trust me on this.
Did the Emerald Society guys have the big dumb hats though? I don't ever see them with the big dumb hats.
I have to assume some of them do. I mean, I'm making generalizations here, but you'll get a service band piper over like a competition piper 9 times out of 10 because they have a fancier uniform, even though they don't play as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And we could actually do a whole fucking bit on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, people do ask sometimes. Do they have a choice of like colors that I wear? Like, yeah, kilt is like $600. There's no choice.
I don't think you need colors. I think it's like dressing up and dressing down.
No,
right?
no.
Like,
well, my point is, people ask the question. It's not doesn't matter. They ask if there's options from a uniform standpoint.
I mean, we can get you like one of the fucking big. Basically, what people want who are general public that don't understand anything about this is they want you to dress like a drum major and play bagpipes.
Correct. Which I fucking hate. Number one dress can go fuck itself.
I'm inclined to agree.
I'm not a British military piper. Like, like that's not what I do.
I would just charge more. Like, charge
maybe,
more for that shit.
What does Joe think? I'm curious. Joe's in the chat. Would he do this?
I think he signed off. I think Joe fucked off.
Mm. Okay, so that's I get the potential of that of offering options visually, sure.
You're very fortunate to have a incredibly large library of good pictures and videos of you.
Correct.
Which I wish I had. I wish I had more like good pictures and videos of me doing bagpipe shit.
Yeah,
but I'm usually the one holding the camera.
Well, no, like 90% of those pictures that I use in my own, I would say almost all of them are not you on the camera. It's somebody. It's just luck. Like somebody happened to be there, and I asked them for pictures, or it was the guy that took pictures at the concert, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, the only ones that I recognize. So this is a Christina Schief photo on the About page. I recognize that one.
I'd have to look, to be honest. But
those ones are someone else's wedding photo. How do we not have Squarespace as a sponsor? This is definitely a Squarespace site.
This is a Squarespace site. Yep, I use Squarespace. Yep. So yeah, that.
I can tell you put a lot of work into this, man. This is clean. I like this.
Yep. No, there's a ton of stuff here that we worked on here. It wasn't just me by any means. So yeah, like I went and like there's so many pictures on the site that I got from other people. Like I did a clinic in Vermont, so I asked them for pictures, so they sent them to me. Or some of these there's like literally selfies. There's literally like just anything I could find that looked cool or professional in some way or that kind of thing.
I do like the random drumming picture on the drum kit in the gallery. I think that's cool.
Yeah, show some other sides of things.
Yeah, the only ones I can see that I know are me is I think this backward golf course one. I might have taken either I took it or Sean Cahill took it because we both played that gig. I don't remember which day was which.
That was me, and to believe it or not, that picture is not me. That is fuck, Daryl.
Is that Plesky?
That's Daryl. Daryl played the golf course gig with me once, and I took a picture of him because it looked cool, and nobody would know from behind, so I used it. Yeah. If you look, those pipes are not mine. Those are
movie magic, baby.
Yeah, man. So like that one was me. I took that picture of Daryl. Like some of these are like people that I sourced. Like, me on the drum set is I don't know who the fuck took those, but I mean maybe the black and white picture was you, maybe.
No, the black and white drum one. That probably would have been either Zach or Jack.
Maybe Jack probably because I don't think Zach ever went to any of those concerts.
He shot one. He shot one at Triple B.
He did?
Because I was there. Yeah, I shot photos of that one too. It was prolific.
Oh, this would have been not prolific. This would have been
So this was probably it was probably Jack.
Yeah, probably Jack then. Yeah. So I mean, some of these are so incredibly.
I don't think I ever gave you any black and white edits of anything that I did.
Yeah, probably not. So. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff here.
Dude, it's a cool site, man. I think it looks great.
Yeah, overall, it's way better than it used to be. So,
And I love telling people their websites are shit.
I'll give silent credit to my silent partner, who I don't know wants to be named, but
I'm assuming it's Aussie.
I can neither confirm nor deny. But if she wants credit, she'll let me know. But was significantly influential in making all that happen. And then there's things like, the Facebook, we're trying to be more engaging, I suppose, like with social media in general. So, you know,
Are you running any paid stuff on Facebook yet?
No, I haven't put it. No, nothing paid.
Save some cash, dude. You could run a few like $5-10 things. I think would turn around, especially in wedding season.
Yeah, maybe. I just have seen so little turnaround from like the pipe band and or Chanter Rant when we pay for shit that it turns into anything. That I'm like, is it really do anything? I don't know.
Yeah, but we sell a service nobody wants. People want fucking bagpipers at their wedding.
Well, true.
like tapping into industries and target demographics of people who are planning a wedding is a fucking slam dunk because they're looking for this. It's like, I mean, it's fucking same thing for funerals, right? Like,
right.
That's a built-in audience.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Although weddings are probably going to be way more lucrative, especially in 2021.
I would hope so. It's been a rough year up until the last 2 months, but weddings have been starting to take off again.
So here's what you do. You need a consulting session, which is you bring over some booze and we sit by the fire pit and you bring your notebook and I'll tell you how to make yourself more money and I'll drink the booze.
I need more time to be able to make more money. That's the problem.
Well, that's always that split too. Like speaking of which, I'm probably going to send this guy your way. I had a student who I hadn't heard from in like a year probably text me over the holidays saying he wants to get back into it. That Jason guy.
Which is
he was Jason. He was a security guard at a like casino or something, or he was a bouncer, and he was a student. God, it would have been probably 2018.
Holy shit!
Because I had him, I had the bomb sniffing dog lady, and I had the guy that stole my Chanter and never came back.
I remember the lady. I remember the guy that stole your Chanter, but I don't remember the third guy.
Bald guy, mixed ethnicity, pretty fucking built.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was just gonna send him your way because I'm not teaching. Like,
why not?
Because I don't want to. It's the margins are too low.
But you have no money. Why not do anything?
Like I said, the margins are too low on educating as far as putting the time and energy in for like that, $20-$30 an hour or whatever. Like, that's time better spent charging $50 an hour for graphic design.
But you're not doing that. Why not just...
I am doing that.
40 hours a week?
Not 40. No, I don't do anything 40 hours a week.
Right.
Except sleep and drink and masturbate. And study. Especially this month.
Well, that's fair.
Because your boy has got his tests this month and he is done.
Well,
I finished school on the 26th.
That's cool. Woo!
And then if you ever get into a situation where you're deathly ill or something, I can say, hey, get in the fucking ambulance. We got to go. I will be eligible to show up, check your airway, and then take you to the hospital. Or as I think it was, I can't remember if it was Bill or if it was Jeremy Downs who said they texted me and said, if you can't fix it in the back of the truck, drive faster.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that one, but that's a good one.
All right, buddy. Well, I got to let you go. Thanks for sticking around for the little extra chat with some of the people. I see Heather and Rob and Lindsay. Cheers. Happy New Year's to all you guys. Beer Boy as well, I see in there. Thanks for sticking around. Consider some merch. I think we didn't mention this on the show, but the Secret Six stuff is leaving the store at the end of January.
Yeah, we did not talk about that, but
we'll
get it next time.
It's got to make way for the round of shirts that are just Beer Boy's face. But they say hope underneath them.
I like it. That's a good idea. Well, sweet. All right. Well, it was a good show. Thanks everybody for listening and hanging out. And
yeah. catch y'all in chat later. And Fusco, if you want to switch the episode art, I will do the outro music.
Switched.
Billy doodly 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 doo. But do 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 do.
I thought you were actually going to play it. I didn't realize you were